Hey, welcome to the weekly DADCast, the only place you can find these titans of gaming and anime. First with us is a man who's fought two other people in this server, the Road Warrior, James.
Hello, it's me, the Road Warrior.
It is true. I guess that does make you the most storied fighter in this chat.
The legendary fat
You're
man.
running the ladder. I guess you could say was that but I guess it's like when you're running the ladder, you for sure lost the first one, right? So you got to put the quarters in.
Yeah.
And that's like you paying for gas, I guess. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, sure.
And then also, recent graduate of college with his degree in Lolonomics, able to tell you the age of any character under 18, Professor Skylar.
It's easy. There's only 18 choices I can choose from.
And then with you always is your resident villain, Claude.
Yes. I feel like you're not putting enough effort into your resident villainy, Claude.
What
I feel.
do you want me to do? What else do you want me to do?
I don't know. Fucking kick some
Think
homeless
Doc Ock was
people.
doing some shit every day. I'm pretty sure he had a day off.
What kind of villain do you think Claude would be? Do you think he actually would be like the he's evil and he loves it kind of villain, or do you think he'd be like, the kind of villain that you sympathize with and is like, oh, maybe he had a point all along. Maybe
Skylar,
we're not so different, you and I.
Skylar, Claude has gone on record saying he would sacrifice all of us for infinite power. He's the villain that loves it.
It's a beta.
Yeah, no, that's true, but I feel like that's a front, right? When knowing Claude,
It's not a front. It's not a front.
He loves things that are wholesome as fuck. He's like a conundrum. He's over here being like, yeah, people with her head pats, she's so adorable. I want to protect her, but also I would sacrifice her for power in 1 second if I was asked.
Jesus Christ. I'm just waiting for somebody to ask me. Really, it's.
You give me the option, I will sacrifice that smile for power.
Yeah.
Otherwise, though,
depends on the power.
I'll protect it.
If it's like marginal, like it's not that much, then it's like, nah, man.
I feel like
how much power would it take for you to sacrifice Akko's smile?
Oh.
Oh no.
Oh. I don't know. I don't want to think about it. It needs to be in front of me. I can't plan this out.
Oh god.
There's no hard limit on the power.
Strength.
Yeah, no, if it's one for all strength, yeah, then that's it. Like, I need something presented to me. If it's like, decide what it takes, and there's a picture of Akko and you see her smile.
It means something a lot different right now than it did like a year ago.
Yeah.
Are y'all caught up on that manga for that, by the way?
I'm one chapter behind.
Okay, so you know then what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it looks pretty fucked.
It does.
Like for a while they were like, hey, this dude hasn't said anything in months, and now he's saying stuff and he's laughing, and we don't like it. He was like, well, things have gotten interesting.
Well, all right then. Actually, Anyway, hello. This is the DADCast. Do we have a name? Are we like the dad?
We are the weekly DADCast.
No, what is our group called? Do we have a collective name?
I like the Crusaders. I like the Crusaders, but spelled CREW.
That's what the ping is on the Discord server.
Yeah. I don't know, the dads.
But no one else can see that.
Nobody else.
It's something that only like 3 people.
The Weeksters, the Weaklings.
No.
Yeah, we're called the Dadders. That's us.
The daddies.
No, you stop that.
We'll workshop this later. I don't want this.
Literally, the name could not be less well thought out, because that's just what we'd become. We would become the daddies. If anyone else was allowed to make up the name, that would be our name.
Hey, send us in your fan send us in what you think that we should be called by sending in fan questions at weekly.
That's all gonna be bad names. If anything, it's only gonna be bad names when you do that.
What episode are we on? This is like episode 40 something or whatever.
I don't know.
This is episode 31, I believe. 31 or 32.
But we also restarted the number though, because we had the whole season 0.
Yeah, so then we'd be on 47 because there was 15 episodes of season 0.
We don't have a name yet either. That's pretty sick.
Yeah.
Professionally run business.
Listen, I gave you guys the social media stuff. Y'all gotta get out there and help.
I forgot.
Y'all gotta be on that grind with me.
You don't grind shit.
Look, I grind my butt cheeks when I
Grind your
run.
feces.
You
Go
don't
fine
want an
pace
answer
like
to that
Sonic the
question.
Hedgehog does.
You don't want an honest answer to you don't grind anything.
Anyway, send us your fan questions and maybe some dumb name you want to give us at weeklydadcast@gmail.com, or you can tweet us at weeklydadcast. So our first question, or well, we only have one fan question today, but our fan question comes in from Alice asking, "What is the most disappointing anime you've ever watched?"
Anime.
Anime.
I'm gonna
I
say.
feel like I haven't finished many things that are disappointing, so I don't even know what to say.
This is my personal.
I guess
taste,
no. I have an answer. You can go before me, but I have an answer.
Well, this is my personal taste, but I was disappointed by Kill la Kill. I was hoping it would be better. That's me.
What did you go into that show for?
Yeah, it's true.
It's a trigger show, and you didn't know what trigger shows were, and then you were mad they didn't have some like overarching detailed story that was like some grand thing.
I'd say that your perspective on this is interesting to me because I understand this opinion, but I understand it almost entirely based on people that went into it thinking that it would be like Gurren Lagann, and it's not as good as Gurren Lagann. And so I understand being disappointed in that respect, but you haven't seen that show. So I'm actually curious as to why you personally found it to be disappointing, based on whatever you thought it was going to be beforehand.
Mainly just because I like my shows to have better writing, so I was disappointed by the writing.
People would get mad at you for saying that because there's like a whole reading of that show about like parody of the kind of like fan service shows, and then also like this kind of thing about self-worth, like, you know, being one with your body or whatever.
I mean, that part's fine.
People are super into it, and like there's a
I'm not talking about
character writing.
I'm not talking about character writing and themes. I'm talking more about like how the plot and everything just kind of progresses in the show. I feel like it's very much like not.
It does kind of meander a little bit.
Yeah, it meanders in the middle, and then it just all of a sudden towards the end, it's like how did we get here? How did we get here?
Aliens came.
No, that's Dark
Aliens came.
No, there were aliens in Kill la Kill.
The light fibers are aliens.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. They are aliens. Yeah, but that's part of like the background. It's not just all of a sudden.
Prefrontal. That's pretty much the deal with everyone.
Because there's a whole thing in the last arc when the light fibers take over the world or whatever. Remember that?
Yeah, but that's nothing. That's not.
That's when they get into the aliens or whatever.
Exactly, but it's not like Darling in the Franxx where they just show up at the end.
Well, they just show up, yeah. And then, by the way, we were actually the final villain. This thing you'd never heard of.
That shit made me so mad.
God damn.
What makes me mad more? Because I mean, like in the show, it's bad. Like that's bad. But I get more annoyed that all the memes about like trigger show, and then you have like a good plot, and then like some meme about like how aliens show up, and like no, why? And it's just sort of like that's all. There's only one show where I think the aliens or going to space was in detriment to the plot, and that was Franxx, and they didn't even write that show. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, Claude, what's your most disappointing anime? Wow. Is it Berserk?
Is it Dragon Ball Super?
Actually, really good. Both of those are good answers. Dragon Ball I don't care as much about. I'll acknowledge it's stupid. By the way, I look forward to the Dragon Ball Super Spoilercast.
Yep. The Super Dragon Ball Super.
No, I knew what I was getting into with Dragon Ball, so that wasn't disappointing. Placeholder answer for now is Berserk 2016 because I went in not seeing any of the trailers, getting hype, and I saw the first.
I had hope.
What the fuck is this? The scene where it immediately hit me was when that fat dude was just kicking. What the fuck was his name again? The kid that like learns in her guts.
Isidro.
Yeah. Well, I'm like, man.
I didn't make it that far.
That was like within 2 minutes.
Was
the
it?
First episode. He's at the very beginning. Even though that's not where he shows up in the series.
Man, I forget. I tapped out on the first episode so early because it was just when I was watching, and I got to a couple of scenes. I got to those two dudes with the horrible faces. Like one of them had, and they both look like fucking Beavis and Butthead. I got to like that two group of guys, and I saw the part where he killed the rabbit with the thing that became the meme because the rabbit's face like doesn't change at all when it gets killed.
That happens
dead.
after
It
the
looks dead
kids
before
getting
it got with it. Whatever. Maybe I just see the whole first episode.
It's fine. The show's bad.
It's
Yeah,
bad.
that's my placeholder. I can't think of anything else that like I was like, wow, this is disappointing. There's stuff I watched. I'm like, that's mediocre. But disappointing is like I'd have to
You
go
have
in
expectations.
with an expectation.
Yeah.
Now I don't really watch an anime except for The Fool's Journey, where I don't know what's going on, and for The Fool's Journey, that's an experience in itself. Can't be disappointed.
Right. Okay.
So my answer, I talked with Claude about this for like an hour, is Erased. And there's a whole lot of reasons why I think the show starts really strong. The premise is good. It has some pretty like above average direction for TV anime. It has some cool things. Like I don't know, James, you know this show. It was kind of popular when it was airing a couple of years ago. And then most people in the universe agree that the ending is bad. So I'm not like alone in thinking that the show kind of like squandered its early potential, I guess. But it's just kind of like, I don't know, like the ending was really strong. It's about this dude who's like a struggling manga artist, and then his mom gets murdered, and he's like gets blamed for it because of reasons. And he's like,
yeah,
oh shit.
I know that episode. I know that show. I watched that. It was a good
Yeah,
show.
and then he gets transported back in time. I actually forget how that happens.
He gets
hit by a bus. He gets hit by a bus or something like
bus.
that. He gets hit by Truck Coon, and then goes back in time to when he was a child. And he's like, "Oh, that's right. The serial murderer killed some girls that were around my age when I was in elementary school, and one of the girls that died was in my class, right?" And so you have this whole thing where he's like trying to connect like the old past murders to his mom getting killed, and what he has to do with anything. He's trying to save the girl in his class, and all that shit. There's some cool directing choices, like when he's in the future, it's like full widescreen, and then when he's in the past, it's in like the whatever cinematic widescreen, so it's letterboxed, which is cool. And you have, I don't know, like it just looked nice, and the relationship between the main character and the girl in his class that got killed was handled really well, and it was, you know, it was heartwarming. There was a really great scene that I think is like really memorable, where the girl who's abused by her parents, she spends the night over at the main character's house, and like the mom makes her breakfast, and she like cries at looking at like a plate with eggs on it because she's never had anything but like, you know, old stale toast for breakfast. And it was really nice. And then the second that plot line resolves, and we save the girl from her abusive mother, and so she doesn't get killed by the serial killer. The show just doesn't know what to do anymore because she was like the entire emotional core of the series, and so we just kind of like fuck about trying to save the other girls that were killed by the serial killer that we don't know at all or care about at all. And then when you find out who the killer is, it's like, wow, I figured that was the too obvious choice, so it couldn't be that guy, but I guess it was the whole time. And then the plot just kind of goes off the rails, and then the ending makes no sense thematically to me. I don't understand.
For those of you who don't know, the concept of time itself NTRs the main protagonist from the romance.
Right. Okay. So that's a whole thing, right? And you can talk about whether or not that they wanted that relationship to be portrayed as romantic or not. I feel like it's really, I feel like there's the way that it is. It's really unsatisfying. Because they span like 6 to 7 episodes of that show, building up the main character's relationship with the girl in his class, and then it's just like, oh, never mind that one. All of these feelings you have built up to this relationship just don't mean anything, and you should just be happy that that the character is happy at all, and that should be the payoff. But it's very unsatisfying as an emotional payoff to that. And then it's just the ending makes no sense thematically to me, because the whole thing is about the main character like learning to like be driven in his life, I guess, and learning like to become, you know, more motivated and to like care about the people around him and stuff, and open up to people around him, and somehow that makes him somehow that creates inspiration for him to write a popular manga series. because that's the final thing that happens in the show. Is the final timeline is him being a successful mangaka. I don't know what that has to do at all with his history, his time travel shit. It's very it's very loose, and so I feel like it just dropped the ball super hard. Towards the end, it does have godlike OP and ED though. Those will always be good. It's me though. It was very disappointed by the end of that.
Yeah. Oh well. Mother's Basement said it was really good.
Mother's Basement had a really long podcast with Digibro about it. I remember watching that one time because I was really.
Yeah.
Digibro was on the train of he hated it from the start, and I was like, why? I don't understand.
Yeah. So all right. Well, I guess that answers your question, Alice. I guess we'll just move on to weeks. How was your week, guys?
Skylar, go first.
First, I mean, I had like the most nothing week of all time. I'm taking my first investment license exam next Saturday, so I'm just in study crunch for the next week. And this week I was in study crunch also, getting shit done. I didn't. Other than that, I didn't do much. I went out with a friend on Sunday, and that was a good time. And I was super hungover on Monday, and I didn't do anything. And all I've done is play Smash.
Tell the audience who you mean.
That's my life. I'm trying to decide whether or not I'm gonna commit most of my time to either Ganon or Inkling. Because I feel like Ganon is easier for me to play online in like latency shenanigans. But I'm better with Inkling like in person. But they're both fun. By the way, before anyone throws Inkling memes at me, I play the one that's like the black girl design that has the pink paint. That's the one I use.
Except, he probably definitely uses the Futaba one at least once.
You mean like the I actually don't like the default skin.
Good though. None of them are bad.
Is because the default one is just like it's like that. I don't like that one because it's just like when you first make a Splatoon account, that's the outfit your character wears when you haven't been able to upgrade them at all. So it's like the most basic bitch outfit your character could wear, and then all the other ones have like like shit you could get to use to decorate your character like in game. So the one I use isn't like super elaborate, but it has like a shirt and then the contacts and like the hat and the cool shoes or whatever. I don't mind the schoolgirl one, but the schoolgirl outfit is like an amiibo outfit. So that makes you look like oh yeah, you have the amiibo outfit. Paying for your upgrade suit shit.
Good job, you did it. Good job.
Yeah, you did it.
Okay, so full disclosure.
Yeah.
I wasn't listening to none of that because I was reading the most recent chapter. My Hero Academia, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I haven't read the most recent one yet either. So I don't know what you're talking about. But...
It's something I thought about before, but it never came up until just now. And just read it during my week. Just go ahead and read it. It's only like 16 pages. Read it during James's week too, if you want. Because we'll have a. I want to talk about this in like the least spoiler thing, but all I'm saying is I don't know how I feel about it. But I don't know how.
Skylar, what is that?
Sorry, that was my laptop. I'm sorry.
God damn.
Okay, so you can get on that, and I'll go into my week if you're done.
You can reach out and jump on their website, right? That's just how it works now.
I was just on the Show and Jump app. I didn't bother with the.
Oh, because my phone is playing Dragon Ball right now. So fuck.
Phone's playing Dragon Ball. What?
He's watching.
I have the Dragon Ball LCQs on my phone.
All right. Well, yeah, you can take care of that, and I'll go through my week. Not much happened because I've been really busy with school. I watched the Broner Pacquiao fight, which could have been great if Broner did anything.
Broner threw 8 punches, right? Average 8 punches around.
8 connected punches. He threw a bit more, but nothing like especially he was fighting off the back foot the entire time. But y'all know I beat that boy.
Yeah, I saw the post-match interview, and the guy was like, you threw like 8 punches around, right? And he was like, yeah, no, but that's like the people in the hood know I won.
Yeah, it was that. And he always said some shit like, he was like, well, you went 3-3-1 in your last 7 matches. How do you, how do you feel? And he's like, well, I might have went 3-3-1, but I'll go 7-0 against you. And he's like, that don't mean anything, but all right.
That was really good too.
Salty losers are the best losers.
He's not even salty. He's just getting paid.
Sounds salty to me.
No, I believe he's both, because those aren't, as you like to say, it's not mutually exclusive. Because he always talk about how he doesn't lose fights, but he does make a lot of money. He's like, whether y'all like me or hate me, you're gonna watch my fights because you want to see me win or lose. He's like, he's not wrong, because that fight did do more than I think when they did the estimates, it's estimated to do at least what was it, 50,000 or 500,000 more? 50,000 more than Wilder Fury. So it did well. I played Smash Bros against everyone here, and I Falcon punched Skylar. That needs to be known. He's my bitch now, because that's what happens if you get Falcon punched. That shit should never happen to anyone.
It was just I panicked and up tilted his Ganon. And so I just stood there and took it. He was even facing the wrong way.
Like, it was happening off like a whim, because like I was returning from the stage and he was facing me, and Stewie was just like, why don't you Falcon punch him? I was like, oh yeah, okay, I'll Falcon punch him. I was like, whatever. So I just said Falcon, and I see his foot go up in the air. I was like, holy shit, I'm actually gonna land this.
Yeah, it was pretty embarrassing, all things considered.
And then
because I just occasionally my brain turns off and I think that Ganon has like Ike's up tilt, like, oh, maybe I have a useful up tilt, but then I forget that I don't have one.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Couldn't stop laughing. I don't even remember if I won the match. I don't think I did, but I was like, that was worth it.
It was definitely worth it. That is that moral victory, if anything else.
Yeah. I think the greatest moment I ever had as far as Smash goes is I was fighting 2 people. One of the guys is in the chat named Baskets. Another one of my friends from the army, St. Dennis. And we were all playing Smash. It was a three-way brawl. And I remember like backflipping over someone, Falcon punching and killing them both. I put my controller down. I was like, get out of my room, both of you. And then that was the end of that, which was fucked up because Baskets lived with me at the time. Because we were roommates in the barracks, but that was my room at that point on. You don't get double Falcon Punch KO'd and like get respect anymore. That shit's done.
Damn.
And then
Or
lastly, no sympathy for Baskets. Lastly is I played a fuck ton of. All I played when I was done with like schoolwork or anything was Persona 5. I got much further. I just got to Size Dungeon. I think last time I played, I just finished. I either just got to Kanashiro or just finished Kanashiro. So I made plenty of progress. Got a lot of people who I didn't have maxed out. And the people who aren't are very close, with the exception of Haru, because like I just got to her. She's at like rank 3.
Yeah, how late into the game does she show up? She has her own. She's
like the third to last dungeon.
Oh wow.
She's
get fucked, Haru.
Yeah, Haru's because there's 8 dungeons.
Let's see. There is
5th is
spoilers for people who haven't played this game. It's been out for 2 years.
Is 5th, and then you have Sai, and then the boat, and then there's the Holy Grail shit. So that's 8.
So yeah, I got a lot of people maxed out. My opinions on best girl may shift by the end of this playthrough. So far, the ones that stand out to me the most is like, man, I really like this, was Chihaya's and Futaba. Those are the 2 that like really, really do it for me. As far as the new ones that got to rank 10.
What pushes Futaba over the top for me, as far as like a bunch of other things, is because I also my on record, my favorite S-Link in that whole game is Sojuro's.
Yeah, she's really good.
A big part in that one. And so yeah, that I think is another big thing for me. I don't know. I
like
think
this game
she's overall is really great. You were saying?
I was gonna say I feel like this game is the greatest if your best girl is Futaba, because like she gets more play than anyone
So
else.
much.
She gets multiple S-linked and a ton of agency over the main story.
Oh, I know what you were talking about now. Claude.
You read the thing?
Yeah, I know. I wasn't sure what you meant, but now this makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel. Like it's cool-ish, but I don't know if that's what I want. I don't know how to talk about this without talking about this.
It's impossible.
Well, I guess at that point, just move on and to whatever else you have.
Well, no, I mean, no, I'm talking about the thing that he's reading, like the most recent chapter of My Hero Academia. Because I could talk more about Persona. Like, that's easy.
Yeah, Persona's old. No one
Yeah.
cares anymore.
Well, like a couple people in the best friends chat are like, "Hey, I haven't played it yet." One dude's like, "I'm in the middle of Madarame's dungeon." I was like, "Wow."
Well, there's one guy that was playing it that beat it. He beat it recently. So.
Well, the one I'm talking about.
If you're talking about the guy.
Said,
if you're talking about Baki the Grappler Man.
No, not him. It was someone else who I don't remember who it was, but it was like earlier this week. He said he was at Kanashiro's dungeon. Or not Kanashiro, Madarame's dungeon, which is like, even if you played it like each day from then, there's no feasible way you'd beat the game by now.
Yeah, it's impossible. I think it took me 9 days to beat Persona 5.
Damn, you really burned through it, didn't you?
Yeah, cool. Because I was like 8. That was the one where, with Nier Automata, I got fucked with schoolwork, and so I couldn't beat it that fast because of when it came out. But with Persona 5, I got very lucky, and it came out during like a 2-week period when I had like almost nothing going on in my class. So I just had to show up. And so I just burned through it.
Okay.
I remember.
Go ahead. No,
I was gonna say I remember playing Nier Automata really late at night while Cesar was at work, and I got to that very specific screen during the fight with Eve, or no, Adam. The one where he's talking to 9S. And I remember like flipping out and like waiting for Cesar to get home just so I could show it to him. It's like, look at this dumb shit.
I remember that happening, and my roommate was there, and he like when we both saw it at the same time, we were both like, "Holy shit!" I remember I had what was cooler to me was because I was playing okay, so this has to do with my dorm setup. So I was living in the cheapest building in my school at the time, and so it was a suite style, but it was basically like what in my brain, what a higher end military dorm would look like not like the barracks, but like a dorm. So it was like what it was is you had 4 rooms connected to one bathroom, and the rooms were essentially a closet with a bed in it and like a cabinet to put both people's clothes in, and then the 2 rooms were connected to like a hallway that had like a big long desk that you could put like a TV on or whatever, and there was and then there was open air shelves that you put like your food or whatever on above the desk, right? And then that was it. There was 4 of them is separated out by a bathroom. Like there's 2 and 2, and the bathroom in the middle. And there's like a normal like shower like you see in like a gym or whatever. And so what that means is that I'm out there playing Persona 5 like 10 hours a day, right, in that little room. And that means that my like suite mates and stuff are all out either studying or doing homework, or they're playing games on their computers or whatever they have set up. That they're just like there, and they could hear my game, and hear me playing, and they can also, when you're walking around, people that have to walk past me to go to the bathroom, do the thing. So that means is people coming in and out of my dorm would just see me playing Persona 5, and so they would also just occasionally pull up a chair and watch me play for like whenever they were bored. So the moment after Sai's dungeon, Claude, you know what I'm talking about? The whole the plan. That scene when the plan is being executed, that was a point where at that night, for some reason, everyone in my suite was watching me play at that one moment. So I got like 8 people's reaction to that scene all at once. It was a godlike. It was really fun because everyone was like, "What the fuck? Did you just lose?" It was great.
Pretty good.
What else did you do this week, Claude?
It was just that, but all I will ask is not, don't even give detailed thoughts, but the thing that you saw, do you like it or do you not like it, Skylar?
I'm okay. So other people are gonna say that they don't like it because, like, how do I talk around this? Can we just say there's gonna be spoilers? Can we just do that?
Spoilers for 2 minutes.
Yeah. Okay.
Skip forward. Anyone listening, if you're reading My Hero Academia or watching the show and don't want to be spoiled for something you're gonna see in like 3 years,
skip 2 minutes.
Skip 2 minutes.
Starting now.
Time us, James. So the thing that Claude's talking about is he's talking about we have the official now. I assume you're talking about the official now confirmation of the fact that Deku is gonna have 7 quirks.
Yes.
Yeah.
What?
Because,
oh, Jesus.
Yeah. The other owners of All for One, because the only ones who didn't have quirks were the original owner, well, no, the original being like the one who could pass on quirks.
Yeah.
And then All Might.
All Might.
And like I thought about before, is like because they mentioned like you take like someone takes on the quirk, they improve it and they pass it on. And my initial thought to that was like, hey, what happens if they already have a quirk? Does that get strengthened and passed on? But then like I thought about that like when I was first reading it, but like it never came up, so I stopped thinking about it. And then this hard confirms like, yeah, no, it's gonna happen. And the dude who's like, here's what my quirk is. You got mine first. That's dope, because mine's is useful. It's top tier.
Yeah.
And you're gonna get these 6 other quirks eventually. And I was like, wow,
the first quirk is
1 minute.
literally
1 minute.
becomes Spider-Man.
Well,
like
it becomes Venom. He has the tendrils.
Yeah, because it's like the black whips, right? But in my brain, it's like you think about it and you're like, okay, no. Horikoshi's favorite superhero is Spider-Man.
Yeah, there's no way he wasn't gonna do that.
Yeah. But yeah, so now we got Deku. How come your mom lets you have 7 quirks?
All right. Second minute's coming up soon.
I mean, that's all you really have to say on it.
I think it's cool, but it's like definitely like power scaling. We're now being power scaled.
I feel like they already were doing it really smart with the whole like limiting like his percentage. Like, okay, so he's not gonna be ridiculous off the bat.
Yeah.
But then also
All Might was already ridiculous already with just the super, because All Might didn't unlock the potential or whatever.
No, he did not, and that's confusing.
Just had big strength.
2 minutes.
Okay, I guess we're done here.
Right.
I'll tell you what, that's really exciting. Y'all should go read that manga.
No one will listen. No one who is not reading manga will just hear something like, "Well, damn, I guess now's the time to read manga." No, you have to fight tooth and nail with them before they'll watch it.
Yeah, dude, you have no idea how fucking hard it was for my first Berserk. I had to like subject him to the anime and be like, "No, I refuse to tell you what happened. You read that shit right now."
Well, that sounds cool. I definitely have to get back into reading MHA because I've been not reading any manga lately.
What's the last thing you saw on it?
It's the only thing I'm keeping up with. I haven't been taking advantage of my.
The last thing I saw was the Black Nomu thing.
Oh yeah, you're.
And I didn't even finish that. I didn't even finish that conflict.
I gotta catch up on.
The
I gotta read
conflict
Dr.
really
Stone,
cool.
and I gotta read Promise.
And there's a move that's done that is like, this is the most fighting game move I've ever heard. I really want this to be a move.
But yeah. So that was it for your week, Claude.
Yeah, that was it.
All right, my week was also fairly simple. It was mostly like packed towards the end. Hung out with my friend. Watched the what was it, Glitch 6 tourney for Smash. That was pretty fun.
What character won that? I don't care who it did. What character won?
Oh, I forget what character they were playing. Unfortunately, I'm sorry.
How do you not remember that?
Because it was last week, or it was this week, or earlier this week, and I had
That
bad
makes it
memory.
even more confusing. You forgot already.
Because he has a bad.
You forgot who made the finals?
You should have led with the bad memory, and not because it was good this week.
Anyway, so I watched that with my buddy Tyler. I started playing Persona 3 Fes. Again, I am very close to beating the first section of Tartarus. And I'm focusing down teacher, sports club, and sports manager of S-Links right now. I want to do Devil too, because I didn't play him, or I didn't try to get him at any point when I was playing before, so I want to try and do that. Game's fun. I mean, it's like what, 20 years old now, almost.
The game's fucking old. I mean, actually,
it's from the PS2.
Not, it is not 20 years old.
Well, it's like
Persona 4
10?
came out in 2008.
Okay, so it's 10 minimum.
The game came out July of 2006.
Okay, so it's 13 years old. All right, so it's just within Skylar's strike zone.
Yeah, my strike zone.
Jesus. Anyway, that game's fun. I've been enjoying that. What else? I've been playing more Warframe recently, which is nice. They just came out with a new update for Fortuna, which is the open world area on what is it? It's not Venus, it's Neptune. On Neptune. Or is it Venus? I forget. Anyway.
Fire Punch.
Oh, anyway. Yeah, I had my birthday. I turned 23 on Tuesday. Hung out with my friends yesterday. Actually, it's when my voice is so terrible. We went out and did karaoke. Saw Claude, and Stewie, and George for a little bit, and then I went over and hung out with Cesar. Went to see how he was doing. He's doing great. It's awesome.
I didn't want to talk to you ever again.
That's what I thought, but then I called him because I had to wait like an hour for James to like call me back, and I just was like, well, I'm nearby him, so maybe this will be not awkward. And he was actually totally cool with me just coming over and hanging out, and we caught up. And it was great.
That sounds wholesome.
Yeah, it was actually super wholesome. We talked a lot about like Smash and like Toby Fox and like Deltarune stuff and movies, and we talked about Hunter x Hunter. His new girlfriend's really into Hunter x Hunter, and he said he was interested in Jump Force, and I pointed out how like the thing that Gon does in that trailer, or in that
now that I have context for that, it's like that's like a big yikes.
Yeah, it's a big yikes. And I asked him if he was ever going to watch it, and he said probably not. So I told him about why that's a big yikes, and he's like, wow. And I told him, he's like, yeah, right. And he's like, and then what else did I tell? I told him about I told him about that, and he was really interested in how the powers actually work with all the limits and the rules and stuff, and how they can become stronger if the rules and sacrifices related to them are more severe.
Yeah.
We just talked a lot. It was great. And then I found out my favorite karaoke bar from when I was in college closed down, which sucked. But there was a new one really close by.
People were stabbed there.
People were stabbed there. People were also roofied there.
Is that why it closed down?
No, it closed down because the rent got too high. The guy that owned the plaza jacked the rent up, so they just couldn't afford it anymore. That's fine because there's
jacked the rent up because someone got stabbed in there.
Appropriate reason.
Yeah, it would be. And then so we went to a new place called the Green Parrot, which is pretty nice. A lot of older white folks there and stuff, but there was a couple dudes doing hip hop. What songs did I do? I did Smells Like Teen Spirit. I did the Disturbed version of Sound of Silence. I did Sex and Candy by Marcy's Playground. And I think that was it, actually, because he didn't have my normal songs that I usually do, and he didn't have any like other songs that I was confident in being able to do, so I just had to pick some random shit.
Did you do Kick in the Door by Biggie?
No, I didn't.
Do that.
Fucking coward.
I don't even know that song off the top of my head.
Do Give Me the Loot. I'll pay you to do Give Me the
Yeah,
Loot.
yeah. Give Me the Loot. Give Me the Loot has my favorite Biggie verse in it of all time.
Is that where Travis Scott like gets that sample from? The Give Me the Loot in Astro World?
Probably.
The whole song's about him robbing people. Him and his
Yeah.
friend.
Big up.
I don't
big
want to
up.
rape
It's
you.
a stick
I
up.
just want the
Stick up.
paper.
Yeah.
No, I feel like telling you to
that song has some fucking savage lines in it though. It's really good.
It does. That song's like almost borderline. Like I'm surprised you can play this.
Yeah.
I feel like telling me to sing "Give Me the Loot" is probably setting me up for failure somehow.
Cool, because that song also is fucked to do as a normal human, because in the song Biggie plays two different characters in it. He plays like an older guy who's like storied in his criminalness, and then he plays like a younger guy who's like, you know, like passionate. He's like the crazy young guy who's like, yeah, let's fucking shoot these people up. So you gotta like change your voice to do all that shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's him, like they're going back and forth. Man, throw him in the fiend. You grab the fucking cream, and if you start to scream, bum bum, have a nice dream.
Have a nice dream. Yeah.
Jesus.
Hold up. He got a fucking bitch in the car. First coats and diamonds. She thinks she a superstar. Ooh, Biggie, let me jack her. Hit it in the back. It's just constantly back.
No,
and
shorty,
forth,
let me do that.
Jesus. Anyway,
Oh
but yeah,
shit!
that was.
The cops be cool, fool. They don't want to roll up. All they want is fucking donuts.
Oh, I also started watching Mob Psycho 100. And that was pretty good. Oh, I do know that song. I listened. That's off the album that you guys recommended. Me.
Yes, it is on Ready to Die.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I remember listening to that while walking to work one day. It was a good song.
Yeah, it gets you pumped up for work, doesn't it?
Yeah. I mean,
It gets you pumped up for thuggery.
I mean, I worked at UPS, so I mean, like, I guess maybe getting pumped up to a song about robbery might not be for the best. But yeah, that was my week. So I guess we'll just move on to the Waifucast.
No, fuck.
Claude. Claude didn't have a waifu ready.
No, I have a list. I just need to go to the list. Who's at the bottom?
Who's at the bottom?
Oh yeah, Ichiko.
Futaba.
No.
Whomst?
The reporter.
Yeah. I didn't hear you say the name.
I'm sorry, I don't date alcoholics.
You roboted for 1 second.
Oh yeah, Ichiko.
Yeah.
Alcoholics.
I think the thing is, people hated on Oya a lot when it came out, and I think she's fine.
Yeah, she's fine.
She's
S-Link
definitely
is
the most useless.
Oh, sorry. Well, no, not her S-Link the worst. Her ability is the worst.
Yeah, it is the
it's
most
like-
useless because it gives you a thing that you never use because you never get caught.
Unless you're like the most shit player possible.
Unless your hands don't work, and that in itself is Broly legs exists. So like, unless you just have no motor functions like at all,
If you're
there's
a
no
literal
reason to ever
vegetable,
get caught.
So like,
No, it's like, and it's like you have to be handicapped in a way that you can't predict, right? Like if you're like can adapt to like your own disability, then you'll get caught. But if you have like spasms or some shit, then maybe you have an excuse.
like, for the people who haven't played P5 or aren't aware, like every social link, which is every person you hang out with, when you level them up or when you rank them up, you get new abilities. Some are far more useful than others. Hers is, it's like, hey, when you leave a dungeon and your percentage for being caught is like, I don't know, let's say it's 50, and you come back, it like reduces drastically. And the problem with that is if you ambush enemies, that percent will go down, I think like 5 to 10 on its own. It only goes up when you've been seen. But the problem is the game heavily encourages you to always ambush enemies. So there's with the exception of like, oh, I fucked up once the enemy turned around, there should never be a point where your percentage is like over 10.
You can ambush somebody from like 20,000 miles away.
Yeah, it's a leap. It's not like okay, I have to really, really get up on him. No, it's generous. Like the only time I have ever had my percentage like high, if it's like I wanted just to finish the dungeon, I was stronger than everything, and I just sprinted through the hallways, and they saw me and they were chasing me. Because at that point, I was at the end and I didn't care. I just wanted to get to the door. But like that, hers is only really useful to you if you do that shit everywhere. Which if you do, get fucked if it's your first playthrough because you're gonna be underleveled. But yeah, so her social link is fine, but her abilities suck.
Yeah. She's kind of like, she kind of has like the fun drinking buddy thing going on. To be honest though, the more memorable character from her S-Link is the bartender at the bar you always go to.
Oh, the drag
Lala.
queen?
Yeah, Lala is way better. Like she's got jokes. It's fucking, I don't know.
Lala didn't want to drink with me. Oh
yeah,
yeah,
it's because you're a tiny child, and that's
I'm not tiny.
I understand her
I'm
not
a
wanting to get
man.
her bar closed down.
Ren
Tiny
fuck.
Claude.
Oya's alright, I guess. I liked Oya's. Have you seen her concept art design?
I did not.
I like it better. She has like longer hair, and like her outfit is more like she has like a mom outfit right now, and they kind of made her look more like I don't know, punk is not the right word, but kind of like look more edgy, more like she's like yeah.
Would she have pulled it off better than Tay or Ty?
Well, Tay, whatever. Takemi is like, that's her thing. She's like big titty goth GF, right? You know.
I don't know if she's got big titty, but yes, she is goth GF.
Yeah. So like that's her thing. Like she kind of had bandana type looking thing in her pocket, and she was like more disheveled looking. What? Yes.
You cut off like significantly.
Oh wow, I'm sorry.
Repeat your last like 3 sentences.
What was I saying when I cut off?
The thing about Takemi is.
Oh yeah, she's big titty goth GF, right? You all heard me say that.
Yeah, and then after that.
All right, yeah. So I feel like that's her deal. Whereas like her concept art design was more like I don't know what the word is. She looked more disheveled. Like she looked like she was actually like I like the kind of person that would say I cover wars, right? Like she kind of gave off that vibe. And so I think that design looked a bit better. I think I'm not a huge fan of her current design.
It's fine. It's alright.
It's fine. I have like no strong feelings about her, which is kind of the worst thing you can say because I don't dislike any of the girls from Persona 5. And she's the one I care the least about.
She would be, if I had to rank them all, she would be the weakest.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say she's not viable simply because I'm just like nonplussed by her existence.
I don't
Same.
know where I'd even rank her. It's like she's not awful. Like she's not bad at all. It's just like of all the girls, both her ability is, huh?
She's a 5 out of 10, the worst ranking. She's not great, but she's not bad either. That's what it sounds like.
Give her a 5. I wouldn't give her a 5. I'd give her like a 6. She wouldn't be a 7. 6 to 6.5 is where I'd give her. Where it's like
I'd say a 5 out of 10 is fair. If we're going by that is completely average, like no, not good, not bad, then that's what I'd say.
She takes you to her house one time and cooks for you, and then she fucks you. I'm down for that.
I have a maid that does that.
You don't have nothing.
Yeah.
Which is the thing about Kawakami, right? That always threw me off, or it didn't always throw me off. This playthrough is the Dirty Dick playthrough, right? So I'm getting with everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Now I maxed her out a while ago, and I always have her like, all right, whenever I can, every single night, make coffee, make curry, just keep that pumped, so I will never have to worry about that when I'm in dungeons. The problem with that is I call her and then I immediately bring girls to my room. So it's like I'm fucking crushing it while she's downstairs making the curry. It's like she can't not know about this.
And then but she only gets mad about it on Valentine's Day. She's cool with you having other bitches, but she's supposed to be the bottom bitch.
That's one of the things that I really wish, because I don't know anything about the Valentine's Day thing. I hear it's fantastic, and I'm.
Have you not seen it before?
I stayed completely away from it because I knew I'd do a second playthrough. I knew I'd be the man whore on that playthrough. So I'm completely blind to whatever happens on Valentine's Day. I just hear it's godlike. But one thing I do wish would happen is that like characters would acknowledge they're in a relationship with you, like during regular cutscenes.
There is literally like one in the entire game that does.
Where is it?
It is late in the game, and you're all studying at LeBlanc, and I forget what the prompts the statement, but somebody asks the main character if they would ever think about getting married one day, and then if you respond yes, then whoever, if you're dating someone in the party, they will have a response.
I vaguely remember Makoto having a response to that first time. Because like,
Yeah.
what was one of the things? There was something like, I was doing the vacation during Hawaii, and like I hung out with Hifumi. Like the only reason I chose her over the rest is because everyone else was maxed out, and you can get points during that. So why would I go with anyone else? And when I came back, the next day, Ryuji's like, "Who were you yesterday?" I was like, "I was with someone." I was like, "Oh, you have a secret lover or something like that?" And I'm like, I have slept with both Makoto and An. They are both here, and neither of them have reacted. I should get something for this. Because they can't just hear I'm out with someone in the night, and they text me, and I didn't respond to them.
Do you remember? Okay, so there's another scene. Do you remember the end of the game, right?
Yes.
When like after Christmas, right? And so there's the scene after Christmas where you like side talks to you, and then you make the decision, and then you go to jail, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember the scene the next morning when Makoto and Futaba are in the diner, right? And when they're watching the news.
I don't particularly remember that. No.
Okay, because that's another one where I couldn't tell if it was acknowledgement in that scene. Because what happens is the scene opens and Futaba is at the diner and she's crying because, oh no, Joker is in prison, right? And Makoto is there, I forget why. She's just like, I'm here too. For some reason, I'm here in the morning. And Ryuji walks in and is like, sees Futaba crying at the bar and is like, "What's up? Did you and Joker get into a fight?" Basically, he asks, and I was like, I can't tell if that's like an acknowledgement or not because it's too vague.
Mm-hmm.
But it seemed like it could have been.
Unfortunately I can't recall. It's highly possible though.
Because this playthrough it'll be whack because
I'm with everyone.
You're doing dirty dick, yeah. So it'll still count. But yeah. So that would be last playthrough. But I honestly can't tell.
Okay. Well, then to wrap this up, I'll after thinking about it, during that at least, yeah, I'm gonna just say non-viable because she is like, she's not bad, but she is the worst of what's there.
Yeah. So I guess with that ends this week's Waifucast. I guess we'll just move on to the news. Well, not quite the news. Technically, this is more just recommendations. Seasonal anime recommendations section. I guess.
That's right. I forgot we're doing that.
Yeah, Claude and Skylar, you guys take over for that because I haven't watched any anime this season at all.
Ueno-san is hilarious. Super genius girl who is in love with this dude who just doesn't take a hint, but it's like it's weird where it seems like all of them are like doujin beginnings. It's very weird. The very first chapter of that is like, I made this thing to like purify anything and make it drinkable water, and I tried it out with my urine, so here, drink my pee. And he's like, I don't want to. But it's purified water. She's legitimately a genius. She's not just bullshitting.
Well, because she's also like, she's not a genius, and then the guy's oblivious. She's also like the most socially like inept person of all time. She's like a genius, and then she's just like, oh no, drink the pee though. Mm-hmm. That'll make you know that you like me.
Yeah, it's really good though. Episode 2 is pretty solid. They're each like 7 minutes long, if I remember. What happens in the second one, at least the second part of it, is she's like wearing this like armor. And he's like, guess where my armor is, and you can get it. Or you hit where my armor is, and you can get it. And she's like wearing like a bra, and he's like, he would never do such a thing. Ha ha ha. He just like smacks his shit out of her ass. He's like, ah, why? She's like, well, you were wearing those stockings, and you're not. It's too obvious. He's like, that's because you said my stockings stank. Which there's the bit before that was from that, where she was like a deodorizer thing or whatever. And he was like, wow, these fucking reeks. And he's just like laying into her. Anyway, he keeps like smacking her ass. He's like, no, I know it's there. You're not gonna trick me. And there's a point where she tries to crawl away, right? She's like, I gotta get out of here. And he like grabs her like by her, like it's a very dangerous looking panel. And what happens in the anime is like hilarious, where she just keeps getting her ass slapped, and it's off panel. You hear her going, ah, ah, and like just and the assistants there like reacting like, oh shit. And in the corner, it's just a text block that's like, in Japan, blank and blank, subjecting someone under the age of like 16 to sexual acts is criminal offense, such and such. So it's like she's getting her ass, literally getting her ass beat, and just this whole like don't lewd kids block in the corner. I was like, wow,
stop it! You over there, you watching this? Stop it!
So yeah, that's mine. I mean, if you want to like go back and forth, so it's not just one person talking for a while. I only have a couple shows anyway.
Yeah, I only have a couple also. I guess I'll get my next one. I'll do Boogiepop. Boogiepop's been pretty good so far.
It's fucking... I'm in episode. I did the first 3.
I had the first 4. I saw they're doing a thing we're gonna talk about in a second. I guess I'll just mention it now because whatever. But they're gonna air like the next. They're gonna do another 2-episode special, and they're thinking they're gonna. I think it's gonna do volume 6.
Yeah, it's in the news.
Before
it's gonna be a 2-hour special for. That's when the series is ending. I thought.
No, I think what they're doing is it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be the before the finale. Like it's gonna happen before the finale.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And so they're gonna animate the prequel volume 6, before they do the one. I think it's volume 4 after that. So that's interesting. But so far it's been pretty good. It's been pretty like generally faithful enough. As far as I can tell. And it's cool. That's just a cool series. People should check it out.
My next one would be season 2 of Mob Psycho 100, because that OP is fantastic.
It's killer. I'm a big fan.
Yeah, like, because I was like, all right, the first one was pretty bomb. I heard they got the mob choir back, which I love that they're called the mob choir.
Yeah.
And then like I got the OP, and I was like, whoa, this is styling. This is fantastic. And then the first episode is super wholesome. I love it. And then the second episode, I was like, wow, yeah, this is doing it. We haven't gotten to the main villains yet. I haven't done the third one yet. But like it's great. If you like Mob season 1, just hop in on this. It's still gorgeous. It's still great. Mob's fantastic.
Reagan is still the best.
Reagan is still great. I used to hate him in the first season when I was like, Jesus Christ, the guy's like robbing Mob.
Because what it is he's like, he has a scumbag who is like robbing this child of his time. but at the same time, there's this weird thing with Reagan where he is a con artist. But at the same time, he doesn't like give nothing to people he cons. They come to him and they're like, "There's a ghost, and the ghost is evil, and making my back hurt." It's
the massage.
And then he's like, "Oh, I'll exercise the ghost," and then he gives them a back massage. He said, "Yeah, I did it." And they're like, "Wow, thank you, it's fixed." And then, "No, please pay me." And so it's like, not like he does nothing.
But he's okay doing nothing sometimes. The very first time you see him, he's looking at this guy's wife, and he's like, oh God, she's hideous. The haunting must be happening right now. He's like, she's not haunted. She's talking about a building she went to. And he's like, oh. Yeah. And then they're walking down the street. He's like, that guy's haunted. And they're like, oh. And look over him, and he has that fucking butt chin from One Punch Man. And he's like, the butt chin goblin. He's like, stop insulting people, Reagan.
Stop it.
The butt chin goblin.
I think that's what they call them. I could be wrong. But yeah, that's my second one, is Mob Psycho.
The next one I'll do is Dororo, or I guess some people might know it by the Americanized name, which is Blood Will Tell.
What? Why?
What do you mean? Why?
Why is it Blood Will Tell?
That's just what it was called when the manga was brought over.
I hate that name.
It's all right. Whatever, and that's fine. I mean, whatever. This is good. The show's good. It's an adaptation of a Tezuka manga. Tezuka being the guy that made Astro Boy and like Blackjack and all that shit, right? It was a manga he never finished because he died. So it was ended by a bunch of other people. So there's a bunch of different endings for this manga depending on who is adapting it. But this adaptation is pretty cool. It's trying to make the story more streamlined because the original manga was very, very like story monster of the week kind of. But the visuals in this are really good. The direction is like kind of standard, but the visual design, art design, and animation is very nice. It has a fucking banger of an OP as well, and that's it's just fun. It's a really cool like classic, almost old school like samurai series if you're into that kind of thing. There's like yokai monsters and shit. Basically the premise is there's this guy, and he gets all of his limbs. He lost all of his limbs. And they've all been replaced by like swords. And the story is about him like going back and taking back all of the limbs that he lost from like yokai monsters. And there's also a child that he's with, and they have wholesome moments because he's like a dad figure to this small child. Who is, I guess, a girl, but it's not important. I thought it was a boy for a long time. I never actually finished when I was reading the manga, but apparently it's a girl. That's not a spoiler, by the way. It's just like they just kind of, apparently it's literally offhandedly referenced at one. By the way, it's a girl. Anyway, that's Dororo.
Yeah. The last one, because there's a couple more that's like I've already talked about how I felt about Promise Neverland's manga. The anime does a good job in the first in the only episode I saw, which is the first. It has okay. So one thing I'd like to note in the first episode, it does a phenomenal job of like how it ends the episode. Have you read the beginning of the manga, right, Skylar?
I did, yes, I did read it.
Okay, so the thing that it does so well is it's that thing where it's like the main characters are like doing the whole like, oh fuck, this is bad, like, and then you're like, no, we're gonna get over this, and then the ED starts playing while the show's still going on, and it's like, yeah, it's going, and it's a hard screech stops when mom finds out the thing.
Yeah,
and it has just her horrible face looking at the thing. I'm like, that was really good. That was a very strong way to end that episode.
Mom looks fucking terrifying in this show, by the way. I'm not sure why she looks so much scarier to me. Also, Sister Crone. Sister Crone looks like a fucking demon monster.
Wow.
Mom already looks scary.
Wow.
Like, it's just like,
bruh, Sister Crone
literally
looks
way
like
worse.
Sister Crone looks like you took Abaki the Grappler face and you like photoshopped it onto Canary.
Damn.
That's fucked up.
He's not wrong. But yeah, I mean, that's not one I was gonna shout because I've already talked about that in a great extent. The last one I will mention because the rest I haven't. No, there's two left. I'll talk about one right now, which is the Rising of Shield Hero. Definitely
Shield
not for
Hero,
everyone.
for sure.
I typically don't like isekai, but it does the thing of like, okay, this guy's a shield hero. Everyone knows the shield hero sucks because he can't really do anything on his own. And he's like, he gets set up for failure at the beginning, and you probably already seen it. He's accused of rape that he didn't commit, he was set up, and like he becomes like edgelord-ish, not edgelord-ish, because he's very jaded. He's not a fan of anything. And the thing that really caught my attention about this is like, there's a point where someone's like, "Hey, you want to buy some slaves?"
Oh.
Because it's like, and he hasn't had a
slave
party member. Yeah, he hasn't had a party member.
No one will party with him because they think he raped the princess.
Yeah. Well, you don't know she's a princess at that point. You find out later.
Right.
Still. And it's like, yeah, they thought he committed rape, and there's only one person who believes he didn't. And then like some dude who looks like the Millennium Earl from like Deep Rayman shows up, and like,
Jesus Christ!
You tell me I'm wrong.
You're not wrong, actually. That's fucked.
Um,
God damn it.
and like he showed up, he's like, "Hey kid, you look down in the dumps. You want some slaves?" And he's like, "Show me what you got." And I was like, "Wow," because in my mind, I thought they'd do the whole typical anime light novel protagonist of like, I don't condone such horrible actions and all that shit. But it's like, no, let me see what you got in stock.
Because he's just like, no one will party with him. He needs someone to fight.
Yeah, no, like I get it completely. I just didn't think he'd be like, yeah, slaves.
He only can have the shield.
And it's funny later on when he gets called out on this. He's like, "How dare you own slaves?" He's like, "Y'all think I committed rape? Why is this the problem now?"
Damn.
So, yeah, I mean, Rising Shield Hero is like, it's definitely interesting. I've only seen the first episode, and then like I read like 15 chapters of the manga like right after. So I'll get back to the anime. It definitely looked interesting, and if you want like a one of those isekai series, but like not Mary Sue protagonist, go for it.
Also, his relationship, I want to say the slave girl thing, he does have the slave who's like a little like raccoon girl.
Yeah, I like her a lot.
Yeah, and so the relationship to the slave is like interesting because it's like he's obviously like wholesome. Like it's like wholesome enough where she's like got PTSD, all that shit, and he's like, I'm gonna be wholesome anime dad to this slave girl thing. But he's also just like not like immediately like a good person.
Yeah,
He's still kind of like, I need you to fight. Like I bought you, so you're gonna fight.
And if she gets too scared to fight, like he enacts to like her little curse because she has a curse on her chest, and then she starts burning her if she doesn't listen to him.
Yeah,
Jesus.
But then he's also like,
she's cool with it because he only uses it when it's like she's too scared to move and it snaps her back into it. Like he doesn't just do it because she's not listening. It's like, we're both gonna die. I can't fight because all I have is this shield on my arm. You have a sword, but you're too scared to wield it.
Yeah. So the relationship is handled, in my opinion, and I like that. I have 2 shows after that. If that was your one, I don't know if you had another one after that.
I have one more after this, but you can go for your next.
Okay. I was gonna say, fuck, what was looking at the live chart? Oh yeah, Kaguya-sama: Love is War.
Well, that was my last one, so we're good. We're good.
Yeah. I have one more as well. But it's short, so I'll just whatever. Kaguya-sama, it's pretty fucking fun. The manga is really great. Basically, the premise is you have these 2 kids, and they're like upwards in the student council of their school, and they're both like geniuses, right? They're super smart, and they both are like prideful as fuck. And they're both into each other, like they want to go out, but they have this feeling, they have this sort of mentality that confessing to someone else is like you've lost the battle. And so the story, the gimmick of the series is you have these 2 characters that are basically like trying to play mind games to trick the other person into confessing to them, so that they win. It's great. Characters are super fun. There's some pretty great gags in it. And the direction in the show is pretty cool. There's some pretty like almost Shaft-esque decisions in the direction of this that I think help aesthetically go along. And it's pretty fun. I like that one. Do you have anything else? If you want to have something else to say about it?
No, that was it.
Yeah, and then another one I want to give us a slight mention to is Monaria Friends or Mysteria Friends, whatever the fuck you want to call it. It's this show. It's Side Games is doing it. It's these 2 characters that were popular in their Rage of Bahamut series. They now have their own show where they get to be gay in a school, and it's got a dragon girl in it. And so if that sounds like something that you'd like, then it is. Also it's episodes, but it's pretty well animated, and the girls are cute, and they're gay. That's all you should need in your life, right? Yeah.
I don't know. Is it like undertones or is it actual gay?
No, they're pretty gay.
Okay. Because I don't want to have to do my Demolition D coffee undertones.
I don't ask my coffee maker for undertones. Yes, I understand. Oh, I also So I haven't seen any of it because I'm waiting for it to be done. But I want to say that Kamuri Kusa is airing this season, which is the show that the guy that made Kimono Friends season 1 made. And apparently, like, it seems cool. I've seen some screenshots for it, kind of interesting. So, like, if you liked Kimono Friends, that exists, and you don't have to watch the travesty. Is Kimono Friends season 2 that is also airing this season?
Oh, is it actually bad? Is it actually bad completely? Like, there's no.
I've seen no good things about it. I have not seen someone say a single good thing about Kimono Friends season 2. I'm not sure how much confirmation bias or whatever, but
Okay.
I have not seen. And also, James, you'd be excited to see that the secret sequel to Handshakers is airing this season.
There's a secret sequel.
Yeah,
Actually?
it's called W's,
Oh
and it
boy.
is secretly a sequel to Handshakers. So you can get excited about that. Also, again, the last thing, for those of you that are fans of Sally Amaki on Twitter, watch Virtual Son, because she's in that. She's in case do you guys know who Sally Amaki is?
No, I've never heard of her because I'm not a weeb.
Okay, well, she's kind of popular-ish now on Twitter because she's an idol, right, in Japan, but she grew up in California, so she speaks fluent English, and so she has an English Twitter account where she basically just tweets like her life happenings, but she is like the least functioning human being I've ever seen in my life, and I can't believe she's allowed to leave the house by herself. So she's a meme basically, and she also voice acts like a virtual YouTuber type character thing that is in this show called Virtual Son.
Neat.
Yes.
Now on to the real news. We already briefly talked about Boogiepop getting a 2-hour special for the 6th novel story. It added the novel specifically is called Versus Imaginator Boogiepop. Okay. Hold on. I'm sorry.
What?
The special adapts Boogiepop at Dawn, and then the Versus Imaginator and Boogiepop Overdrive stories are also being adapted. So that's cool. These episodes will air together as a 2-hour special on February 23rd, 25th, on the 24th, as well as a 2 1-hours. Hold on. Oh, wait. Revealed on Monday. The anime will adapt the Boogiepop at Dawn novel, the 6th in the anime's 10th to 13 episodes, and then as well as two other 1-hour specials will also be on television. Which are Versus Imaginator and Overdrive. Okay, now I understand.
So there'll be multiple 1-hour specials then? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, there are 2 1-hour specials, one for Versus Imaginator and
oh,
one for Overdrive.
so one is the prequel and then one. Okay,
yeah.
That's
pretty cool. Yeah. So the anime will have 18 episodes, which you guys probably already know. Yeah. So that's cool. I haven't watched Boogiepop. I didn't even know it was out. I should probably watch that.
It's cool.
Yeah, the season started earlier this year.
Yeah.
I mean, don't you already? So are you gonna start Boogiepop before you hop on Ippo?
No, I'm gonna finish all of my watch list first, but Boogiepop's a thing that I'll keep an eye out on.
All right, Skylar.
Really, I'm just biding my time for next season.
Why next season?
Because Sada Zanmai is next season, James.
I don't know what that means, but okay.
The show by the guy that made Penguin Drum.
Okay.
In Utena.
What were you gonna say, Claude?
I was gonna be like, Skylar, before he starts Ippo, who do you think his top 3 favorite boxers are gonna be?
Oh, in Ippo?
It's Ippo.
I'm gonna say it's for sure gonna be his top 3 in no particular order. Gonna be Takamura, it's gonna be Sendo, and it's gonna be Vorg. That's my read.
Which one is the Flicker Punch?
Yeah, that's where mine was gonna go. Mine was gonna be Sendo, Mashiba.
Oh, Mashiba, really?
I think he'd like Mashiba because Mashiba's a piece of shit.
Oops, sorry. No, I can just tell you guys, like it's Ippo, the guy who trains Ippo, and then Flicker Punch.
But you don't
That's it.
know, like
Yeah, we haven't
you
seen
know
the
what
show
their
yet.
styles are, but you don't know-
I've seen like 10 episodes or more.
Mashiba doesn't
Out
show
of
up in the first
out
10
of like
episodes.
150.
Okay. I've
Like,
seen enough to see Flicker Punch.
That's like a third of the show because he's like one of the first big people he deals with.
Yeah.
Wait a
I
second.
like
What
Flicker
the
Punch.
fuck is this?
What is it?
I was just looking at the Virtual Son cast, and the first thing I see in the staff listing is Hideaki Anno is the
Wait, what?
idea
What?
cooperation. What
Love
the
it.
fuck does that mean? Also, Kizuna Ai sings the OP.
Oh, that's cool. I
So
appreciate
this-
that.
Yeah, that's fucking weird.
Anyway, so PA Works unveils Fairy Gone original TV anime for April premiere. So Kenichi Suzuki, who directed Cells at Work, Stardust Crusaders, and Drifters, is directing the anime. With the author of some light novels called Grimgar of Fantasy and Ash.
Oh, Grimgar's
Writing-
alright.
Yeah, writing and overseeing the scripts. It's
What's this again? What we're talking about?
called Fairy Gone.
Oh, that's the new PA Works show.
I literally said that. Yes.
I'm sorry, I completely missed you. I'm sorry. PA Works. The show is weird for me because PA Works, I feel like their bread and butter is like slice of life shows about people and their feelings. Like their best shows, in my opinion, are Shirobako, like Hanasaku Iroha.
Mm-hmm.
My fucking
The
dog.
fuck
I'm
was
sorry.
that?
Love it.
It's my dog.
Love it.
Is it Liam?
Is
Skylar
Liam,
is
yeah.
immune to animal suffering.
And the shows are all like people like Shirobako is about production studio that makes anime, and then Shirobako is about and then Hanasaku Iroha is about it's like I want to work at an inn. She works at an inn and whatever. So this is like an action show about like dudes that fairies exist and they can use the powers of animals or something and elements, and then humans figure out how to put fairies inside of people, their body, so they can summon the fairy powers at will. And people become soldiers to fight in wars, basically, the fairy soldiers. And then the show is set like after, like not during wartime. So it's like these fairy soldiers have to reintegrate into society. It talks about how some of them are trying to work normal lives, and some of them are like mercenaries, and some of them are terrorists. This is kind of a cool premise, I think. And I guess if it has the Grimgar Fantasy and Ash is like an okay Kai thing. So like that's not like a bad person to have writing it, I guess. So this could be cool. I mean, it'll look pretty at the very least. PA Work shows look great.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah, I guess it's cool.
Yeah, I don't really have anything to say about this. I didn't even hear about this at all.
You gotta be a weeb to hear
I saw
about this shit.
I saw the other day.
Yeah.
It'll
The character
probably
designs
look
look
pretty,
alright.
and it'll probably look pretty. It'll probably look about as pretty as the other action show they did, which was like Sirius the Jaeger about the vampire hunters.
Uh-huh. Let's talk about something that's prettier. How about the PROMARE teaser?
Yeah, hell yeah. Let's talk about this fucking PV. Claude, tell us about the PV for PROMARE.
Looks fucking gorgeous, and I was already excited. And then
I like the
this
poster
hype,
too.
and it made me sad because I was like, how long is it gonna take before this put on Blu-ray and I could actually watch it at a good quality?
Never.
I really hope they bring it to
No,
theaters.
it will be. It will be. I don't know about in the US. I'd love that, but I don't know. It will get its own Blu-ray over there.
They have the fucking whatever you call it here.
Fathom Events.
No. Yeah, well, yeah, Fathom Events. Well, then like they have we have like people that'll license it, but they also have like the Patreon, and they have had the English like speaking, what do you call them? Fucking AMAs on Reddit, and they've had the same thing on 4chan. So they're aware, or they have a large English speaking audience.
Yeah.
So I would hope they would take advantage of that and bring it to theaters in the States.
I think these 3D models really do take a lot of it. The 3D models I'm seeing, they take a really good advantage of like the trigger style, art style, especially with all the cell shading and shit that they're doing.
I mean, they proved they could do CG really well with
Well,
Gridman.
Gridman
Mhm.
doesn't count. Doesn't
Why?
count because they didn't do the CG. It was handled by an outside studio called Graphinica that does the CG for Tokusatsu series.
Damn. The only time I can think of not Gridman. The only time I could think of 3D outside that they did was 3D I didn't like in Kill la Kill, like the scene of Sasuke walking like up the wall.
Where she is skiing up the wall.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that don't look good at all.
Yeah, I remember that vividly. Yeah. But I mean, like based on the trailer, we already have full on confirmation that it looks incredible.
Yeah.
So
I can't wait to watch.
We don't need to worry about that really anymore.
I can't
Yeah,
wait
this just looks great.
I can't wait to see Firefighter Kamina in action. It's gonna be so good.
Firefighter
Watch you watch Kamina. Go watch goddamn Gurren Lagann.
No,
Yeah,
I'm
you
good.
piece of shit.
I'm good.
You literally have no reason anymore.
I literally have a copy of it on my computer.
So Skylar's point was never,
Yes.
debunked. Like, go watch it.
Yeah.
It's not on that list you showed us.
Yeah, I know. But I also told you as I get further and as I finish more on the list, more stuff will come on.
Why isn't it already on?
Because I haven't updated the list yet.
Update the list right now.
So you're saying that like that things that somehow that you've added to the list are gonna supersede things you've already added to it? Like, oh, I didn't think about this before, but I'm gonna put it above this.
Wait, what? No, I'm gonna finish the stuff on my list and then add the other stuff to the bottom.
Because I know half those recommendations you took from us must have been after you downloaded Gurren Lagann, right? This motherfucker muted.
James dead.
James died.
Cool. Where were you?
You didn't even give us a time frame. Got anything you want to talk about?
I mean, not really. I'm just kind of living my life. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm still a little bit blown away by the discovery that I just made. I don't know what idea cooperation even means.
I'm back. Sorry, Jake had to tell me that he got RE2 on the PC, so I'll be playing that later tonight. Shut up. No.
He got what?
RE2.
That he got RE2 on the PC. So yeah, I can't wait to. Anyway, so the list, the way it works is I take things off the list, and then the things that were there, they're left, move up to the top of the priority, and then new stuff comes up on the bottom.
But like the point we were making before is, how long have you had that? How long have you had Gurren Lagann?
Not long. I made it. I got it before I made the list, but only by like a couple of weeks.
Right, and I know Ippo and a couple other things were thrown on the list when you were just asking us, "Hey, in general, what do you want?" Which means that you should have had Gurren Lagann on that list before Ippo or half the stuff there.
Nah, because I wanted to watch Ippo.
So then it's not what you told us about stuff on the list and then new things get added on. It's your discretion.
Well, I mean, I also clarified that some of it was going to be to my discretion based on my. It's in that first post. It's like, oh hey, yeah, some things might move up and down the list, and I might choose to drop things just based on stuff. Like I dropped Hinamatsuri, and I like.
But
just
that was on the list at all. Just put it on the list. Just make me.
Bitch, it'll be on the list when I want it to be on the list. It's not like it's not going to be on the list.
I don't believe.
I also have the everything for Princess Utena, but it's not on the list.
At all?
I don't know. I don't remember the actual name.
Not you,
sorry,
Skylar.
No, I know, but I don't. I'm telling Skylar I don't remember the actual name. I have Utena or whatever.
Utena, yeah.
It's just how we pronounced it at first. I didn't know if that got under your skin.
No, I wasn't gonna say anything.
But yeah, I have Utena, and that isn't on the list, but I know it's going to be on the list as soon as I finish Mob Psycho. So, whatever. Nah. Anyway, moving on. So yeah, the new PROMARE PV looks great. But you know what doesn't look great? The live-action Tom and Jerry movie that will begin production in summer 2019. You don't need to see it really. You just need to know that it's an origin story, and that we have plot details.
I was gonna make myself mad. I was gonna call out a segue, and I was like, "Why would I even do that?" off. Let me just leave that alone.
Yeah.
Shouldn't expect this quality.
Oh wait, did you ever listen to that segue? The Kingdom Hearts 3 segue?
No,
Oh.
I didn't listen to the last one.
Oh, okay. So so basically it's an origin story, right? It's the Superman versus Batman where, you know, Tom comes in to take care of Jerry, who's fucking around with some New England couple that just moves in.
That's right, and you confirmed that they cannot be black because you said you believe black people don't live in New England.
New England. You hear that?
I'm
All the
telling you,
New
only
England, you are
hipsters
not
go
allowed
to
to
New England.
listen. New England FGC scene. You don't exist. Spooky, not real.
It's spooky in New England.
I guess he is Hispanic, so that doesn't count. But still,
Yeah, Hispanics can
he
live
lives
New
in
England,
he lives
just
in New
not black
York. And
people.
New York is in New England.
You said old
Okay,
people
sure.
and hipsters,
Yeah.
right? Was that all you said?
But like James, you do realize that New York is part of New England, right?
No, it's not.
Yes, it
It's
is.
it's a different
What?
state entirely. What the fuck are you
New
talking
England is
about?
not a state. New England is a region.
In Rhode Island. Isn't it?
No,
Isn't it
New
Rhode
England is
Island?
not a state. It is not a state. Rhode Island. New England
Island-
is like Massachusetts and New York and like New Hampshire.
Hold on.
Like it is a region in the northeast of the United States.
Hold on.
It's literally called New York, as in the fucking Duke of York, as in
Uh-huh.
the fucking feudal lord.
It's
Not feudal
Maine,
lord, but you mean
Vermont,
like
New Hampshire. No, hold on. It's Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, and Massachusetts, Connecticut, and Rhode Island. That's it.
whatever.
Not New
fuck
York.
you.
Not New York.
But it's not.
I
you
learned
thought it
something
was a
today.
state.
I hope you guys
Yeah.
did too.
You thought you said something dumber than me, so I still won that exchange.
But you're whatever. Anyway, you're still wrong, and black people still can't exist in New England.
They still can't. What about? Well, okay, actually, no. It has in a Stephen King novel. So that means if so, then you're wrong.
Wait,
Put on
what?
any New England Patriots game and see if there's a single black person on the team.
But that's fucked up because I actually can't remember any of the players that are black. I only remember fucking what's his name, Tom Brady, and then their defense guy. What's his name? Like, in my head, his name is Wesker. That is not his name.
Whisker.
I don't remember either. I don't watch no sports, but I used to like football, and then now he's like, no. And I got into boxing, and that's my only sport now.
Same, pretty much.
Oh God. Okay, so I'm looking at the sidebar. I have to add this real quick since we're on movies. So Titans season 2 first character breakdown teases Deathstroke's son. Oh
What about
boy,
him?
what is? Well, let me
Well,
see
who's
what this
Deathstroke's
looks like.
son, Claude? Do you know who's that character? Like, would I know who they
I'm
are?
trying to remember his fucking name. It's not Ravenger, because that's the daughter.
Character's name is Max. So they're doing a casting call for a male of Asian or Latino descent, aged 21 to 42, who is hard of hearing or deaf for the character of Max. As a young boy, Max was a kind-hearted soul who never measured up to the expectations of his domineering military father. Bullied by his peers, he retreated even further inward. He's a misfit who always longed for acceptance and love, but never found it, always suffering betrayal by those he dared to believe in most. As a result, he's grown into a young man who now longs to inflict pain on all those who have caused him pain. Why would you call for a 42-year-old?
Shut up.
Maybe because he's old. He's an
It
adult.
says
now,
he's a
and his-
young.
and
No,
his-
he says he's grown into a young man.
Maybe
Oh.
you gotta look weathered because of how much shit you went through. Listen,
Hey,
I know
aged
way more
beyond
about
his
his
years.
daughter than I do about his son, so I can't really.
I
say.
didn't even know that he had a daughter.
Yeah, he has a daughter. She went
Jericho,
crazy.
possibly.
Jericho, I think Jericho might be the name. Like, because Ravenger was the daughter, and her deal was like she took the same drug that he took, like to make him all super great. And she came up to him one day in its fucking drug state, being like, "Daddy, look, I can be like you." She stabbed out her eye, and now she hates him.
Damn.
She was like, he was like forcing her to take it, and then she joined the Teen Titans for a while. Whatever. This isn't about her.
Yeah. Anyway, no, I just didn't realize Titans even got like the season 1 even came out. I assumed
have-
that.
have-
Yeah, we
well,
did.
okay, no,
we were
I
talking
say,
about
have you-
Batman and how he hard murdered people, and how he blew
Oh,
away
that's
Starfire
right.
with a
That
fire
did
extinguisher.
happen.
Also, remember the
did
fire
happen.
extinguisher bit. Also,
I do
Yeah, we saw
remember the
that
fire
too.
extinguisher bit. I'm
So,
sorry.
okay, so the thing is, my friend is watching Titans, by the way, and I asked him what his opinion on it was, and his whole thing basically is that like, it's like okay, and it's incredibly inconsistent, the show, but there are just things that are just like they don't focus on the right things, and they focus on the things that are the poorest like aspects of the show. So apparently, Raven is the worst. It is the worst part
Great.
of everything, and the whole show is like, what's Raven's deal? And Raven, the actress, is terrible, and the story for her is terrible, and nobody cares about Raven. And then she has basically the same setup and plot as like the new Starfire, who apparently actually is interesting, but is also confusing as to why they even decided to make that character Starfire, because she doesn't act anything like Starfire at all. She doesn't look anything like Starfire at all. So like, why did you even make it that character in the first place? So there's that, and then apparently Robin is like fine, and Beast Boy is good. That's what apparently it is the my friend's opinion on Titans. I saw the first episode. The first episode was really bad.
So,
I think,
sorry, continue. I'm gonna bring up my point afterwards.
I forgot if I talked about it. If I talked about that at some point, I feel like I did. But Titans first episode is bad.
Looking up pictures of Ravager, because I wanted to like show you guys, it kind of saddens me that like 75% of the pictures of her are from Teen Titans Go. Like that's
Teen Titans Go. That's depressing.
Because she didn't show. I don't think she was a character when the first series of Teen Titans was out. She's a character in Go, I guess. Taking a selfie with fucking Raven, and I hate it. Raven's smiling.
I love it. I love it so much.
Teen Titans is alright. Teen Titans Go is okay.
Yeah, it's okay. It's an alright show for
it's
alright
a
people.
It's a show for children.
There you go.
Speaking of children, I once heard Skylar.
You stop that right now, motherfucker.
I once heard Skylar.
I got plans tonight.
That's why I was trying to set up for. Thank you. Anyway, Ghost Survivors.
No, okay. Now tell me what you were setting up for.
Nope.
You're talking about speaking of children in Skylar. How's that lead into Resident Evil 2?
Is going to be a new game mode coming,
motherfucker,
for free as a free DLC for Resident Evil 2 Remake.
I hate you.
It's gonna feature features three new playable characters. One of which is Robert Kendo, who is the firearms dealer who owns Raccoon City's Kendo gun store. Yep. An unnamed member of the Umbrella Security Service, and Raccoon City Mayor Michael Warren's daughter, who is actually it's interesting. She's actually dead during the events of the actual game. So it'll be interesting to see if that'll get like a weird story relevance to it. Maybe not. Maybe it's just reusing a character model that they have already. The Ghost Survivors, it will include randomized scenarios, an enemy unique to the game mode, and a shop where players can purchase items with points they earn in the game. In addition to Ghost Survivors, thank you for the loud hissing, Skylar. I appreciate it. That's really great content.
I'm really sorry. I can't, and I can never know when that's.
What the fuck is in the background?
God, just fucking mute. Christ. I'm
so sorry.
Anyway, so you're also getting low polygon character models for Leon and Claire, just called 98 Leon and Claire. This will be fun. I want to get get these, and then those will all be coming in March. I want to get these, and then I want to just set all of the game's video settings to the lowest quality, and just pretend I'm playing a PC version of RE2 Remake in like 98 or something. So yeah, Resident Evil Remake. Resident Evil 2 Remake came out.
It did come out. I've been meaning to. I think soonish. Because it looks super good.
What? Yeah, Remake.
Yeah.
Okay.
What did you think I meant?
I don't know. You keep cutting off. Is the thing, Skylar?
Oh.
You were actually cutting off for me, James, a second ago. I mean, it's fine now. But I don't know what's happening.
That's weird. Anyway, yeah, Resident Evil 2 remake. It's great. Go play it. Anyway,
Ew.
y'all are gonna have to take over for this one because I have no idea. Tell me about Naoto Kurogane and why he's important.
Look at
Oh.
no, ignore that. Look at this pixel art of Ravager.
I want to talk
Make that a
about
thumbnail.
Naoto.
I love it.
What is this? Oh,
It's
okay.
Ravager pixel art.
That's pretty fucking funny. That should be the podcast thumbnail.
Make that the thumbnail.
Yeah, make that the
I will.
thumbnail. That's pretty good.
I will.
Anyway, so BlazBlue CrossTag Battle. Moving on, BlazBlue CrossTag Battle had a trailer, and it's like, hey, by the way, we're getting an arcade release in Japan. Yay! Also, the new character, probably. They teased a new character, and his name is Naoto Kurogane, who is the version of Ragna from the light novel where he was consumed by the beast. So he's like a Rekka character. He's got like the fire blood hand. And his thing in BlazBlue is that he's really good. His character is like pretty good, but he's also like fuck difficult. He is almost impossible to play correctly, and he's like one of those dudes you have to like break your hands to play. And so it's cool that he's being put in. I guess he'll be fun. He'll be another Punch Man with Punch Man moves. He's in his sprite and his moves look cool. So I'm happy he's in, I guess. Yeah, that's really all I got. I mean, basically this is here because new characters are getting BlazBlue CrossTag, and that's exciting.
You know what's more exciting?
Yeah.
Metroid Prime 4 news.
That is
You-
true. This actually
I don't know if that's
is
exciting
exciting,
news,
by the way.
but I appreciate the news.
I'm excited by the fact that there was news, but I'm saddened by the news. Why am I seeing a Wu-Tang Clan? What? Hold on a second. Wu-Tang Clan of Mikes and Men? Oh, it's a Showtime. Why does GameSpot have Showtime documentary vids? Anyway, so Nintendo released a short video on Metroid Prime recently, basically saying, "Hey, Metroid Prime 4 development has been going pretty poorly. It's not up to our standards, so we're actually just giving it over to Retro Studios, who developed the previous 3 entries of Metroid Prime." So that's cool. That's nice. I like it. I like it a lot.
It made me sad because I've been looking forward to that, but I do really respect the stuff went on. We'll tell you stuff went on. We're starting over from scratch. It's gonna be a while, versus the who's the worst about that? Duke Nukem.
Yeah.
Versus
Yeah.
what happened with
Well,
Duke
that's the
Nukem.
worst of all time. That's the worst.
Yeah, I was trying to
ever.
just think of a bad who didn't say anything to anyone, and that was that's the most legendary of them all. I don't remember how many years it was, but it was pretty bad.
It was like 15, wasn't it? When they announced like 19.
Yeah, that's right.
95?
15 years.
Yeah.
15 years.
Yeah, it was real fucking bad.
Yeah, but here we are in a time where Nintendo, you did good with this. Nintendo, you realized there was a problem. Instead, just sweeping it under the rug and not talking to us about it. Final Fantasy VII Remake. You
Very, very true.
yeah. God, what the fuck is happening with that?
It's
an
it's
episodic
not
thing.
real.
Why?
It's not
It's-
real. That's all it is.
It's not real.
Okay, one of these two things has to be real. Which do you put more weight in? The Final Fantasy VII Remake or the Untitled Avengers project?
Untitled Avengers Project.
FF7 remake, because no, they're both Square. See, okay, so
Yes,
here's the thing:
that's
is
the
that they're
problem.
both Square. They're both Square, and Square cares more about Final Fantasy VII Marvel thing. So that's my
Do
bet.
they?
Because
Do they really?
it's because they own FF7. It's theirs, and the Marvel thing is licensed.
Okay, but here's my counterpoint. Disney cares a lot more about the Avengers than it cares about Final Fantasy.
Yeah, but the Disney can just it doesn't have to be sole exclusive rights to make the game. We already can see that's not the case because there's already these Marvel Ultimate Alliance things coming, right?
I mean, yes, but Disney's gonna care if Square Enix isn't making that game. And you don't want to get.
I
Disney mad, do you?
I know what you're saying. But I'm saying that Disney's not gonna care because they'll just be like, oh, if it out, you just give it to the other people because it is whatever. Because we're still in this spot where like they had to, Disney it doesn't cost Disney that much in this instance. If that falls through in the grand scheme of things, right? And so if it falls through, it falls through. But Square cares a lot about their own property that I'm assuming they have pumped fuckloads of money into.
Okay. I'm gonna move on to Learning with James news.
Please, let's move on.
Not Learning with James, but James's
Learning
weird
with
news. I don't know
James
why
news?
that. No, James's weird news comes before Learning with James.
When has that ever been a thing?
It's always been the thing because
No,
James'
when
weird
it
news
has
is
not.
the last. Yes, Claude. It was literally like that last week.
Last week we skipped Learning with James because I was like, we've taken too much time, so we're skipping Learning with James. And we went to weird news.
No,
Learning
dude,
with
it's
James,
always
then
been
weird
no.
news.
It's always been weird news. That's how it started. Maybe when you were writing up the docket, it was. Oh, that's why.
How much
'Cause
money
when
do
I
you
wrote-
put on this?
No, it started with that because I put weird when I wrote the docket and I made weird news. I put it before learning because it's the last thing of the news. Why would it come before learn? Why would you have a new?
How much money do you want to put on this? We don't have to have a conversation. How much money do you want to put on this?
Claude, I'll
Then
put you $5
I
at
will
the
go to
docket.
past podcast.
Claude, go to the first learning of James Weird News, the one
That's
that
not what I'm talking- You're saying it's always been
yes.
that. There was
Yeah,
one
it's
time you
always
did
been-
write it like that, but you know what? Let's just
It's
say
always
$5.
been that,
I'm
because
listen
that's
to the
how I
last
made it to-
podcast, and then you're gonna give me $5, and then you'll be in debt
not giving you
because you don't have
$5.
$5.
I'm not giving you $5. That's how I wrote it. Because why would you do learning with James? Oh, excuse me. Why would you do learning with James before
I don't care.
the last
Just go.
news
Just go.
segment?
I don't care anymore.
Anyway, here's our weird news. Mark Zuckerberg once killed a goat and served the meal to Jack Dorsey, the CEO of Twitter. That article title is very memorable. Because it just makes me think of Zuckerberg being just this inhuman robot of like, here, human, I have killed and prepared this meat for you to consume. This is what CEOs do. They just challenge each other to dumb shit. Like, oh hey, you have to, every meal you cook has to be killed by you. This is what millionaires do in their fun time.
Yeah, they also refuse to take normal medicine, and so they die of cancer. Shout out to Steve Jobs.
They also request that you just share your genome.
Yeah.
With their faceless company.
With Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg is not a human being, and this is widely fact now. Everything that we read about him, just read the idea of him as like an alien wearing human skin, doesn't quite understand what humans are like. Please, sir, I slaughtered this animal. Have you ever eaten goat before? The answer is probably no. Probably not. Here, have a taste some. Gamey and delicious.
In the article, he states that he actually like raised the goat just to kill it.
So that he could eat it? So that he could share it with his business friend.
Yes.
Dude. So
it's ridiculous, dude. They're nuts. They're nuts.
A
But
part
anyway.
of me is surprised that Mark Zuckerberg didn't do the thing that the guy that made MySpace did, where every time you make a MySpace account, you're friends with the person, and it's the guy that made MySpace.
Oh yeah.
And so he has the most
Tom?
friends. Yeah,
Yeah.
Tom something. Yeah.
I'm not surprised. I feel like Zuckerberg probably thought it was stupid. It's kind of stupid.
It is pretty stupid, but I would love the idea of because then I'm trying to think of what that would be like. Someone who's friends with everyone who has a Facebook account, it would be like incomprehensible. Like if your front page would be like things in languages you don't speak, and all that shit. It would be like it would be unusable.
So what's our learning with James topic, Claude?
Of course I put it away right when you asked that. I had it pulled up. I went to look at something because the moment you told me what the story was, it's like that's stupid. I don't even want to talk about that. And
it's not meant to talk about.
You guys just talked about it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, no, that's
it. Tell us about. No, that takes too long. Tell us about what's Sword Art. Tell us about Sword Art.
Sword Art is a very bad series of light novels and anime seasons. The best part of Sword Art was the first half of season 1, and then it tanked immediately afterwards. There's lots of stuff about buckets, glopping, and harems of lonely hearts. There's a point where a character is so overpowered that he can just use swords in this game where swords are the worst weapon. But he somehow makes them viable despite not being good at the game otherwise. There's a weird incest subplot all the time. What else?
Did you see that her boobs shrunk 3 cup sizes between that season and the most recent one?
I'm not surprised, but no, I didn't see that, Skylar. Thank you for letting us know what the status of an underage character's breasts.
People were showing the meme that it was like her boobs shrunk several sizes, and then Asuna's boobs grew. So it's like Asuna's stealing her boob power.
That's
There's an anime about that.
That's horrific.
I remember that. It's back in feudal Japan, and they'd attack you with swords, and there's a technique where they cut your tits, they fucking deflate like balloons, and the person who cut them would gain the boob.
Was that Sekan no Koizer? Is that what that show is?
No, it's not. I know what you're talking about. I thought that anime was about fucking.
I don't know what that anime is about either. All I've seen is that anime, like the boobs are like fucking like person sized, and they're moving all over the place like gelatin.
No, what I'm talking about is like an anime specifically for tit men, because it's like the bigger your tits, the more like.
So is this one.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
It was like, yeah, the bigger your tits, the more like famous and powerful you are, the higher your status. If you have small tits, you're basically a fucking peasant woman who works on the farms.
Why you gotta talk about Solange like that, man? She's not even here. At least let her defend herself.
Yeah, way to make that about her.
Yeah, I did make it about her. Shout outs to Solange.
Why are you so obsessed with her?
I'm not.
You super are.
I'm not. It's just
why
funny
you
to
get put in the bad boy corner, huh? Guys who's listening to this who don't know, anytime James does something really creepy or bad towards Solange, he gets his role changed. He gets put in the bad boy corner and gets a lot of his rights restricted.
Yeah. Don't kink shame me. Anyway, moving on. We're gonna talk
Solange
about no. Bad boy corner is.
Were we done with Skylar Online? Would you
I don't have anything else to say about it. I don't care about Sword Art.
You didn't
I don't know
mention
all
the rape. The rape was
there's a lot of that. There's a lot of that, but I figured that's kind of implied with most Japanese
but
anime.
You have to tell us everything you know.
Also, did youAki Kuwahara, the light novel author, recently put out like had an interview. And he seems like kind of like a cool guy. I'm not gonna. He had a most recent interview where he was being talked to, and literally he went to the interview. He states in the interview that he's there because he wants to talk about Blue U and how good it is.
Wow!
And so he spends the whole interview. Right, and the guy's like, "Well, what about Sword Art?" And he said, "Nah, fuck that. I wasn't done." So that was cool.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
And then he also said that he is looking at his old, he's like embarrassed about how poorly he writes characters, and he's trying to make sure that he doesn't come across like a horrible monster. Yikes.
Yeah.
So at least he's self-aware now.
Now he is.
Mm.
But yeah, no, I don't have anything else to say about Sword Art. I don't really know anything much about it outside of the memes, and that's bad. And then I watched like a 3-hour video by Digibro on why it's bad.
Yikes.
It's more like listened to because he's not showing any footage of it. He's playing like Terra Online or something, which, considering what we know about him now, like go figure. For those of you who don't
what we know about him now.
Well,
you just weren't aware at the time.
Yeah. But if for those of you who don't know, Terra Online is an MMORPG from, I think it's Korea, that has a lot of lolly characters in it.
It's like it has like the thing that all, which is the tiny race, like the Lalafell in FF14, and then the Harvin in Grand Blue Fantasy, and like that those things. But at least in those two things, they don't look like lollies. They look like chibis, like the Harvin and the
they're not
Lalafell
like
look
crudely
chibis.
dressed.
Yeah,
They could be
exactly.
if I wanted to.
No, the Lalafell outfits in Final Fantasy 14 are generally tasteful.
It's weird considering it's Final Fantasy, and I've seen some of those costumes.
I've not seen too much crazy shit with fan servicey costumes in FF14. Usually the looks very nice in that. The Grand Blue Fantasy, the Harvin, like the designs in GBF are usually pretty tasteful as well. Unless you're a dude and then you get like rippling abs everywhere. Fucking the fucking ones in Terra Online, not the case.
Nope.
It'll be some scantily clad small.
Yeah, it's not a good time if you're normal. But yeah, I just want to move on to our big discuss because that's what I'm actually interested in today.
Yeah.
Now, before we get into that, Skylar, I know you hadn't watched the series. What do you know about Super?
I know that Beerus is a big cat man who's angry, and he's like, no, he's not angry. He's a god of destruction, but he's like lazy, for shit. And he's got a buddy who's like flamboyant guy named Wiz, and I know that there's Frieza comes back. He's resurrected. He's like, I trained now. I didn't train before, I trained now. That means I'm strong. And then they fight. And Goku turns red or something. I don't know. Maybe Vegeta helps.
We should have done a learning with Skylar Dragon Ball Super.
Oh, Dragon Ball Super. And then I don't know what happens after that. I forget if Resurrection happens before. What even is the other one? Battle of Gods? That one Beerus shows up?
Yeah, that's his first Battle of Gods when it's Beerus, and afterwards is Frieza. Frieza is Resurrection of F.
I know that what happens, I think what happens is that Beerus and Goku fight, and then Goku loses, but then Beerus is like, yeah, you're pretty cool. I'm impressed by you. And there's like the moment where he like, Goku's like gonna fall into atmosphere, and Beerus grabs his hand, and he doesn't like. I've seen that, so that happens, I guess.
So whatever. That's the one I'm struggling to remember which is which because they changed it. I don't remember if it's in the movie or in the show because there's two different versions. There's one version where he does catch him, and there's the other where he just lets him fall to earth.
What?
Yeah, there's one.
So
where
because the one where he catches him is the one that Dragon Ball. So maybe that's the one that's canon, at least in my heart.
Well, I think that's from the movie. I'm not positive.
Okay.
Wait, no. I don't fucking know. I'm gonna watch the movie again with my girlfriend later, like probably next week or something like that, because she was kind of interested.
I know that like the first like half of Dragon Ball, 2 movies where they made the show version of them, and that they also had really bad ending. And then we had Tournament of Power, right? And I'm kind of like, Tournament of Power. Well, no, you had fucking Goku Black for Power, right?
Yep.
And so you have this Zamasu, right? He's this guy. He's like one of the race that whizzes those people.
No.
No, but he looks like him. Is that why does it look
Wiz like Wiz is like an angel. I don't like. He's like a candidate to be like a Kai.
Okay. So whatever. Zamasu is like an alien dude, like a farmer or some shit, or I don't know. And
He's
from some
training
time.
he's training to be a Supreme Kai.
Yeah, that's what it was. Okay.
Or a Kai of the West, or whatever. I don't remember which one he's like.
And then some shit happens, and his family dies or something.
No.
What he's like, just all, and he basically wants power or some shit, and then he steals Goku's body, and then he makes a timeline or something. He kills everybody, and Goku Black. And then him and Future Trunks fight or something. That's all very. I've had the arc confused. He has like the earring that lets him fuse with himself. Or it's just,
that would be a nightmare to explain for someone who actually hasn't seen it. I've seen it, and even there's some parts I trip up at because it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. So and then Beerus eventually just Hakai's would drive the Goku Black out of. And then Future Trunks also has a cool part where he kills him with a big sword, the Spirit Sword. Right, so that happens, I guess. And then you have Tournament of Power, which is the now we have all these universes that exist, and then these people. Is it the Kais? Maybe it's not the Kais. Some
gods of destruction.
Some gods of whatever. Like, by the way, all universes got. And then we're gonna destroy all the ones except for the one that wins. And you gotta pick your strongest fighters, and then they all fight. And the tournament is like on this big thing in space or whatever. And if you fall off, you're disqualified. And the whole thing takes place over the course of like 45 minutes or some shit. And they all fight in this thing. And it introduces a bunch of dumb characters like Caulifla and Kale and Jiren. And everyone, and this is the arc where everyone gets cucked out of being cool, except for Android 17 and Frieza. And then Goku turns white and kills Jiren, and is really strong.
I like the idea of just Goku turns white.
At one point, he skates on top of a Kamehameha with another Kamehameha, and that's kind of cool, I guess.
It was probably the coolest moment of the entire arc.
Yeah.
That final fight was really good.
I did
very well
see.
animated.
I did see the fight between him and Jiren, and that did look pretty good. But that's my knowledge of Dragon Ball Super. As you can tell, I'm a genius, and I know everything. Ask me, I can tell you anything you need about Dragon Ball Super.
Okay. Now, as far as just this general discussion, because this isn't like learning with James, where we're gonna be like, all right, here's everything you're wrong. Mr. Leader of the podcast, where do you want to start with this shit? What are we doing?
I kind of just want to talk about Broly. I don't give a shit about Super. I didn't want to do Super. I just want to talk about Broly.
Why are you saying this now? Why didn't you say this to me before? We talk about all of Z. We can't not talk about Super.
He kind of just gave the summary of Super, though.
He messed up a lot. It's fine, though.
I clearly knew everything about what happened in Dragon Ball Super.
Clearly.
There's some things I want to mention that's stupid. You didn't mention the baseball episode. The baseball episode is the greatest episode.
I didn't watch a single episode of Dragon Ball.
Watch it. Watch the baseball episode because its concept is like, all right, Choppa, which is Beerus's brother, was like, I want to have Earth food because I destroyed the version of Earth like thousands of years ago because the dinosaurs were huge bitches and I hated them. And oh god, they could have, the dinosaurs were going to be taken care of on their own and I could have had delicious food. I want Earth. Let's challenge my brother to it. Can't fight. Let's play baseball. And it's just over-the-top episode of baseball, which is like high praise. Maybe it's because I haven't seen it in a while, but I remember loving it so much. Just under the Samurai Champloo baseball episode.
I was saying, what is it with baseball episodes? They're fucking
I don't know.
great.
They like baseball.
One in Samurai Champloo is amazing. One in A Star Driver is great. There's a pretty great baseball episode in Steven Universe.
That's not the same. That's different.
It's a baseball episode though. Baseball episodes are great.
It's not anime. That's a series that's made in America.
Fooly Cooley has a good baseball episode.
It does.
Yeah. So it's a whole thing.
I don't know. They love the baseball though, and Goku Black's stuff's stupid. I'm not even gonna talk about it because it's stupid. But Goku Black, I think, is cool as a character by himself.
Don't shoot. He's not black.
Yeah, that's my favorite. That's my favorite quote.
I mean, Future Trunks is cool.
Future
I
Trunks is really cool.
I wish he was allowed to exist in things that more.
He can't.
I feel like they fucked up. He fucked up and he made a character that's too cool. And he can't put in the series unless bullshit is occurring.
Yeah, you got 2 arcs. Unless you want your story to get confusing, you can't bring your coolest character.
Because it's even like Future Trunks isn't even as cool as he knows Cell Saga or the Android Saga. He's more cool in the Heritage or whatever Trunks, whatever that movie's called.
History of Trunks or
History of Trunks, yeah. Which is like the whole thing right before he goes back in time, and that shit's way cooler than the Cell Saga version of himself, where he just kind of gets punked a lot. And then he's back in Goku Black, but in order for that to happen, you need to have that timeline shenanigans happen again, and that stuff.
Mm-hmm. And now there's a timeline with 2 Trunkses and 2 Mais. It's stupid. I barely want to even talk about that. I just like talking about Goku Black.
Wait, excuse me, what? So how does that work?
He didn't know. He didn't
know. Which Mai then is the one that gets the D?
The one that's like the same age as Trunks physically, like the one that's like a future Trunks.
That's a bad sentence. What does that mean?
So all right, so because there's a couple Trunkses, right? There is the normal Trunks we're used to, which is like 10 or something like that, and there's the Mai who got wished back into being a kid, who has the body of a 10-year-old but the mind of a.
Why did she get wished into being? Oh, you explained this to me because she fucked up a wish and
yeah. Instead of wishing for eternal youth, they wished for youth and they got turned into kids. This is what I remember. I could be wrong, but they are kids because they fucked up a wish. Now
that's accurate.
What had happened was that timeline that got fucked up and got completely erased. That Trunks, the future Trunks we know, and that Mai both came back. Into the timeline that we're familiar with, and they were like, okay, so now there's a future Trunks and an adult Mai here, and they're like, what do you want to do? Is like, let's dump him in another universe with another Trunks and Mai, because nothing could happen there, and they dumped him in another, so now there's just another universe with 2 adult Trunkses and 2 adult Mais, but like the ones who were originally from that universe aren't aware the new ones are there. It's really weird. I don't know why they even did it. Could just had them stay in the story.
Are you trying to imply that Dragon Ball Super and the Dragon Ball franchise as a whole might not be well written, especially when it comes to timelines?
Didn't we get in an argument before? Because you were talking about its writing.
What?
I told you it was written stupidly. I'm trying to remember. There's something we fought about before, involving Dragon Ball and its writing.
You really could just stop at that sentence as at we fought about something before, and it would still make sense.
I mean, I just want to remember what the exact argument was. I don't know if you remember talking.
No, I don't.
It was something you were complaining about in Dragon Ball, and like how it wasn't well written or something like that. And I was like, Dragon Ball's fucking stupid. It's never been well written. And then later on you came back at me being like, oh, I thought you loved Dragon Ball. I was like, I love it for being stupid. I've talked about this before. And there's been multiple times both myself and Skylar, like, we're like, no, he said this on multiple occasions. He loves it because it's dumb. I don't remember. I think it's one of the dumber arguments we had. I'm just trying to remember what spawned it. It's not important, though. There's not too much to say about the rest of it. There's a bunch of fights, and Dragon Ball's fucking stupid. On to BROLY.
On to BROLY.
Dragon
the
Ball
best Dragon
Super
Ball Z
BROLY.
movie.
Super BROLY.
The
As
best movie.
As Al Roker would call it, Dragon Ball Super BROLY.
BROLY. Go, BROLY.
Go BROLY, go BROLY, go.
Go. Oh, by the way, complete spoilers for Dragon Ball Super BROLY movie.
Super BROLY.
With that being said, holy shit, Gogeta. That was hype. That was hype. That was hype. That was hype, but I wish I wasn't spoiled.
Yeah,
that's fine.
One of my friends escaped that fate. He didn't know. He didn't watch a single trailer. We let him walk in and like made sure there were none of the advertisements. Because even if you didn't see a trailer, when you walk in, if you watch it in the first couple days, they just hand you like, here's this thing, an advertisement thing. It's fucking Gogeta right there. I'm like, wow.
Right.
Well, Toei don't give a single fuck.
Literally the thumbnail of the trailer.
God.
You can't escape.
Okay, so
Remember how mad James got when you posted the trailer?
Dude, I was so mad. I was pissed.
I remember, and I
You
was
were
like,
so-
shut the
you-
fuck
but
up.
you were-
Talk
but you-
about everything.
But you were mad at Claude, even though he's like just
I
posted it.
shouldn't have been mad at Claude. I'll admit that. I should have just been mad at Toei, but I redirected it at Claude for some reason.
You could have just get mad.
I got mad at Claude because he watched the trailer, and then he in his message where he posts the trailer, he says Gogeta is canon now. He says Gogeta is canon now, so I was mad about that. You didn't have to say that. You could have just posted the trailer.
I didn't have
But
to say
literally,
he was
he's
canon.
in the thumbnail. He's in
I
the
didn't-
thumbnail.
I didn't see the thumbnail.
You didn't
Do
see
you not have the
what?
how? How would you have
How
not
do you
seen
see my
thumbnail?
post, but not the massive video thumbnail under it?
Yeah, would you have
I-
not seen the thumbnail?
I
Like
probably
if he didn't say that thumbnail and then be like, is that Gogeta?
Oh. Huh. Yeah, I don't
Yes, you
think I even
fool. It's right there.
Yeah, I didn't even register that when I first saw the trailer. I didn't even register it as what I was looking at. I just looked at it. I just immediately clicked it. That's funny.
I like that. Yeah, blankly, your brain just turns off. Like, yeah.
I was like, whatever for when you were mad at that until the moment you compared it to when you spoiled me about the thing that I'm not going to spoil right now.
From Berserk, yeah.
Yeah, there was something I was waiting for in Berserk for the longest time. Hadn't even been fucking translated, and James pinged everyone here about it. And I was like, wow, that's when I actually started to hate James. No memes, like no jokes at all. That was the moment I started to hate him.
When James finally gets when it finally comes time, you'll know that was the moment Claude snapped. Everything after that was just biding his time. Anyway, the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie.
Yeah.
So this movie is fucking like I've never seen it. I think I mentioned this briefly last time. Last week I talked about this during my week. I've never seen a movie ever that has less plot in it than this movie, because it's literally we have a movie where it's like 20 to 30 minutes of setup of establishing Broly's canon in this universe, and like kind of re-going back and showing origins, Planet Vegeta and Goku shit, and then you have like another 20 or so minutes that establish like Broly's character and motivation in this version, and then after that point, the next like 50 minutes of the movie is just non-stop action.
Yep.
And the reason for the action is like flimsy as fuck. It's like basically like I need you to take revenge on King Vegeta because he was a dickhead. So I'm gonna kill his son, who I've never met and wasn't even born when I left the planet.
He was born.
Yeah, he was born.
Was he born? Oh, that's right, he was. He was.
I'd like to point out, Broly is like 50 years old or so.
41 years old.
Well, he's older than Kakarot.
Okay, so when you see them as
he's
little
older
two
than
babies,
Kakarot.
it says 41 years ago, and then when you see Goku, it says 5 years later. So Goku's so Vegeta and Broly are 5 years older than Goku.
Oh, it's so weird.
But it's also timeline shit. Or sorry, like time frame shit.
It actually makes sense. It's not that weird.
Time frame shit is a little bit unclear though, because like
it's weird that Broly looks like that at 40. Is what it's weird.
Saiyans don't age.
Yeah,
I know that. It's just weird because he looks 20.
But never mind.
It's just weird. It's just a weird thing with Saiyans is that they look like
anime.
Look at Chi-Chi and look at Goku. Saiyans, just don't even worry about it. That's just how they're raised. Saiyans don't crack.
Anime age.
That's
just
did
that.
not
That's
age.
what we got. Yes, we
Got
yes
them
we wait
crow's
a
feet
second.
like a motherfucker.
Yeah, fucking yeah. So it's just like you take revenge on this guy that you probably had no reason to have hard feelings against.
Yeah.
Not really.
The
And
sins of
then
the father.
yeah, and
Yeah.
then Broly has like no stake in that fight at all. And the show in the movie even like positions Broly as not having any stake in that fight at all. It's just that his dad is like, do it, and then he's like, okay, I guess. And then once the fight starts, it's just like he just gets the bloodlust going, and then he can't stop.
Yeah, I do like that. Like how conditioned he'd be, because the moment Paragus started getting mad and yelling at Vegeta, even though Broly didn't have a stake in it, you see him starting to tense up, like he's ready to ready to go. He hadn't even been told to do anything. He just sees his dad getting mad.
Broly sees Vegeta and is like, that's fine. He's over there, and he's fine. And then his dad's like, that's the guy, and then Broly's like, time to go. Yeah, and then after that point, it's just like the movie is all well animated all the way through, but then after that point, it's just like outrageous. It's like I don't even want to know how long it took them to animate this, how many people they had working on it. I don't want to see the fucking like sweatshop ass list of key animators they had working on this. But whatever it was, this shit looks incredible. It probably has the most action animation cuts per minute of any anime movie ever. because it just
almost a third of that movie was the nonstop fight.
Because it just doesn't stop. It's more than a third, also, for sure. It's like half of it at least. Because it doesn't stop. Once it starts, you get like 20 seconds. Like there's like it cuts away to like Goku and Vegeta trying to do the fusion dance, and that's like the break you get.
Yeah.
And then even during that scene, it's still cutting back to Frieza getting destroyed
for an hour. He gets destroyed for an hour
because it's actually great fucking. Where they're like, where Broly's powering up and like, okay, now we definitely need to do the fusion dance, or else we're taking a fight. So they essentially tag in Frieza. They're like, they fly
involuntarily.
They fly up to
Have
him.
Fun, Frieza. Take this L.
Yeah, and then they instant transmission away Piccolo. Yeah, and so they do the fusion dance, and then it keeps cutting back, and they fail it twice, so they have to wait 30 minutes for it to wear off. And so they
I like the implication that the form you get is based around what mistake you make. So if you do a bad angle, you get thin Vegeta. If you do the fingers wrong, you get fat Vegeta.
Yeah, that was So they fuck it up twice, and then it cuts back to Frieza just getting like his ass like torn apart.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. He just gets pounded on for an hour straight. And that's fun.
And even Whis like gets in there for just a little bit, like, oh.
Well, yeah, Whis fights in for like 12 seconds to save Bulma, and then Gogeta shows up, and it's like, nah, I got it. And then after that point, Gogeta stomps some ass, and he's the coolest. He does all the cool moves you ever could want him to do. Fucking Stardust Breaker, fucking final Kamehameha.
Question about that move. Because I've seen it a couple places, and everyone seems to be split on what it's called. There's people like me who call it Stardust Breaker, and there's other people who call it Soul Punisher. Where do those names split from? I don't know.
Budokai games.
I've never heard Soul Punisher in my life.
Once.
Because I have heard Soul Punisher, and then I watched like a Team 4-Star talk about it, and they call it Soul Punisher too. I was like, where the fuck did that come from? Because I know I've heard it before, but in my heart, I've always known it as the Stardust Breaker, because that is a better name than Soul Punisher.
It is, in fact, a better name. And that's what it's called in the...
Rest in peace.
Right?
You cut off for me. You said that's what it's called and then it went dead.
In the Janemba movie.
I'm pretty sure he doesn't say it. He doesn't yell its name, but I remember seeing it. Maybe I saw it in like Tenkaichi or Budokai, and then maybe they changed it later on. I don't really know. whatever.
The name Soul Punisher comes from its use in the game's Budokai 3.
Okay.
Otherwise, it is officially known as Soul as a Stardust Breaker.
Okay, so get fucked everyone else. It's Soul Punisher or Stardust Breaker.
Stardust Breaker.
So I'm actually shocked that when we were like all of us talking about this movie, we jumped past the greatest Dragon Ball motivation.
The greatest thing of all time. Yeah.
5 centimeters.
All right. Okay, so what I think is like what makes this scene so good, in particular, is a couple of things. Is the scene immediately before it is the scene where Bulma talks about why she was collecting the Dragon Balls, right? She's like, I want it, so I make myself 5 years younger, and have this dumb conversation about how like why not make yourself like 10 years younger or whatever, it'll last longer. And she's like, yeah, but that's too noticeable. People will think I had plastic surgery. If I just do it like this, I'll be like, oh wow, you look like you've been rejuvenated, right? Like it's like it'll be too noticeable, right? And then you have this thing where it's like a shot of Bulma's face, and then it match cuts to a shot of Frieza's face. I'm like, that's weird. Usually you do a match cut when you're trying to like imply like, you know, like a connection between two things. Like why the fuck are they between Bulma and Frieza? That's weird. And then they do the scene and it's like, Frieza, what are you gonna wish on the Dragon Ball? And the guy's thinking about like you make yourself trying to make yourself powerful and unable to get hurt, and he's like, nah, none of that shit. And then some fucking dweeb is like, nah, he hates being made fun of because he's too short. So I'm gonna wish that I'm 5 centimeters taller because 10 centimeters would be too noticeable. And the whole scene is played so straight, like it has like this ominous, menacing music. And when he says the sentence, it like gets to like, it reminded me of like Kira's theme from JoJo Part 4, where like it had like the like more dramatic bit where like the climax of the song happened, where he's telling him why he wants to be made taller, and it's just the whole scene played itself so fucking straight. So just like the delivery on that joke was very good.
One of the things I probably loved the most about that scene before we even get to the joke was I was positive, like when they said he's getting the Dragon Ball, it was gonna go back to his initial wish of like immortality. I do love them addressing like, no, he's not gonna wish for that again. And then like the second one is the one that got me the most. Is like, how about a body that doesn't take damage? And he's like, why take the fun out of the game? I was like, that I like that sentence a lot from him.
That's some character development right there.
Because
he feels the lust for battle.
I also liked that when he talked about why he didn't want to. It's just like he thought about it, how angry he was sitting in hell. He's like, this sucks. So yeah, so I feel like that's pretty good too. Yeah, the whole scene was great. And so it makes the actual fight with Broly have like negative stakes, because it's like no matter who wins, the wish on the Dragon Balls is fuck it. the world's not at stake here. Broly's not evil, so it's just sort of
Well, there's never really a stake for that because he's not evil. I mean, he was, but he's not evil. The closest you get to that, like him being the old Broly, was when like Goku got back up and like he kind of like smiled for a second. He was like, "Oh, I get to continue beating that ass." But yeah, I mean, Chilai also new Frieza Force waifu, fantastic.
Yeah, boy, does she want it! Holy crap!
Yeah, Broly smashes that. It's just like someone superimposed that image of the hamster eating the giant banana.
The hamster in the banana. Yeah, I love how playful she is. And how she acts. Like, so when she's talking about like, hey, Broly, why aren't you wearing the Saiyan armor? Oh, it doesn't move good or something, and then she just like pulls it.
I mean, he doesn't
forward.
talk like a caveman. He's weirdly, he talks weird, but not like that.
No, I know. Just he talks very simply, but not in broken English or anything. Yeah. And then she just pulls the armor forward.
And she's like, "Hey, check out these tits while I show you how this armor works."
And he's like, "That's nice, thank you."
By the way, check out this dank tit jiggle animation. Because no expenses were.
Oh, you found it?
I what the expression is now. I feel like
Sakuga?
Wow.
no,
Yeah.
no,
Sure. Why not?
no expenses were
Where?
spared. No expenses were spared. That's the fucking expression. Jesus Christ.
Where do you put this shit at?
Posted in DADCast for this audio stream, for this audio podcast.
Yeah. Oh, wish you could see
audio.
this.
This is an audio experience.
I wish you could see this.
I forgot about that Pixel Ravager.
Yeah, I bet you did.
It's so good. I love it. Anytime now, Skylar.
Yep.
What?
Anytime.
What?
We're
What are you
waiting
waiting
for you to post it.
I don't. That was Claude that said that.
What?
No,
That was
I
you.
didn't never. I never said I had the thing. I'm trying to remember an
you
expression.
just said you found it.
Yeah.
No, I didn't say that.
Yes, you did.
Oh my
That's what
god!
we were waiting on.
What? No, I was trying to remember the expression. No expenses were spared.
But
That's
you
what I
said
was
you
trying to talk
found. You
about.
said you found the.
I never
the
even said I was looking for. I never said I was looking.
No,
You
but
said
you said
you-
you had found it, and you said you were gonna post it.
You said check
did
out.
I?
You said check out. You said
Yes,
check
you
out.
did. If it was just James, I'd fight him. This is both of us heard you say this.
I feel like you misinterpreted what I said.
No,
Skylar,
That
go
was-
find
oh,
it
no.
now. Make up for your mistakes. Find us.
It's-
You said,
it's-
"Look at these kid jiggles." Or
It's
kid
not
jiggles,
even.
wow.
It's not even out. That was like an expression. Like check it out. Like look. Like I didn't mean literally. Like I had it. It's impossible.
Then you said you'd
It's not even-
post it. Why did you say that
I
then?
did not say I'd post it. I was fucking trying to remember the expression that I forgot.
Oh man, Skylar.
I was
Skylar's
talking to myself.
cognitism.
God
Moving
damn.
on.
I want to go
I-
back at the tapes on that one, 'cause I feel like y'all misheard what I said.
No, we didn't. Anyway, I love how petty Frieza is in this movie.
Hey, Frieza's always petty. But yes.
but I love
especially-
how especially petty he is in this movie.
Frieza should get an Oscar.
Does
Not
he
the
not
voice
ma-
actor Frieza. Broly,
Frieza-
look! What a tragedy!
Yeah.
Best performance. Oh man, the idea that he just thinks like, oh, maybe that'll work, and then just does it.
Yeah, he thought about it. It's like, let's try this. Phew.
I love how unceremoniously Paragus just goes out.
He
If
slumps
Paragus just
over.
gets fucking punked to the like the quickest anyone's ever punked.
Like, the coolest anything in Dragon Ball to me has always been Broly's, like, the universe is shifting colors because of him. Like,
Yeah,
transforming.
it's always one of the best.
Do you like this transformation or the old one better?
I prefer
like
this
the old one.
transformation.
Well, he also just becomes old Broly at one. You guys noticed that?
Well, yeah, when he
Yeah.
goes to the other dimension, but I'm talking about, like, the, like, alright, well, like, his face, like, rips apart.
His face rips apart.
In the original one. Because in
Yeah.
this one, like, you see his eye, like, his, like, eyes, like, actually, like, explode outward, so it's, like, that's why it's just pure white.
I don't remember Broly's face getting torn apart. or split
Yeah,
apart.
I'll see if I can find a gif of that.
Yeah, because I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's from the Legendary Super Saiyan. Wow, actually, it's one of the first things that shows up. Actual GIF. Like, this is an actual GIF. Not just
Okay. Well, waiting for you to post
Oh, there you
that.
go. Yep, I found it. I'm posting it in
Okay.
DADCast when DADCast wants to open up.
Any minute now. Just gonna
Shut
keep
up.
talking to
There
Phil.
you go.
I'm talking to Phil in air, you dick.
There you go.
There we go.
This is like his transformation movies. Like his face starts ripping
yeah.
apart and his body explodes outwards, and then he's just there as the legendary Super Saiyan.
And then he's big. Yeah, I like this more. This is cooler, where he's still.
Okay, I
buff
found
and he
one
just gets
That's
big and
a
strong.
higher quality.
I don't know. I still prefer the new one more because I just feel like there's a lot more. I mean, there's more reasoning to it, and there's relevance to like this looks
Like,
nice.
look at his fucking jaw and his eye. You see him breaking.
Yeah, but I like this more because he doesn't like have to do that. Where now his entire like not model, but his entire
Physical form
sil-
doesn't need to explode.
Yeah, just to
that's
justify
cool.
why he looks like that now. It's
I
just
don't
like
know
no,
if
he
you
just
guys were
looks like
looking
that. and
online.
he
People were livid that his transformation wasn't this in Fighters. Like people were super mad. They're like, this isn't how he like his like intro screen.
Yeah, I could see that.
His intro in Fighters is what he likes.
He just slides in.
Yeah. Look, it takes time to model things, okay?
They can't make them explode all the time, okay?
Yeah. We gotta
I
save
don't
up
need
for
him to
people.
explode twice. Just the first time
Look,
and then now.
look, man, that's the old BROLY, okay? We gotta save that exploding stuff for the new hotness. BROLY. Oh god, I mean, geez, there's so much. I love the stuff with Broly's characterization with the giant monster that he makes friends with. Yeah. And then subsequently
he keeps his
stops
stinky
being friends
pelt.
with it. Yeah. God. I don't know. You help me out here, guys. There's a lot to talk about.
I feel like these transformation sequences are the coolest they've ever been in anything in this movie. Like those, like the Goku Blue transformations should have always been this cool. Like that was one thing I was blown away by was that you have your transformations. And
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I got distracted by the shit that was ecchi. I'm sorry.
Dude, come on.
I'm sorry. Well, I gotta make the fucking dot go. Okay, because it bothers me. Yeah. So you always have them, and they're always. It's just a Dragon Ball thing of having the transformation happen, and I feel like they're not very visually interesting a lot of the time. It's just a guy yells, and then you have like the flurry of light, and then they become a different color. But in this movie, like you had like some really cool like chromatic aberration shit happening with some of them, and some of the way like they make like light warp around them when they transform, and like when Gogeta is on screen and he goes through all the transformations, they always make sure to like have them happening in motion, and that shit was fucking rad. And then obviously there's the bit that was in the trailers of Broly turning Super Saiyan, where like the fucking light gets sucked into him like a black hole.
Yeah.
And it looks fucking rad.
How'd you all feel when the movie went first person?
That was a fantastic cut. I was like,
right?
that was when he was fighting Vegeta.
Yeah, there was like the one moment where I'm like trying to tell what's going on, and then Vegeta comes into frame, and then you realize what's actually happening, that you're in first person.
Like, oh yeah, that's fucking cool. Yeah, that was really good.
That was the dopest shit.
Yeah,
I've never seen anybody do that.
I the only time I've seen it was in Gun.
Yeah,
it was a really fucking godlike cut in Gun of Thunderbolt, where it's a Zaku. So you see a Zaku trying to fend off whatever the Gundam is from that one.
What was that? What was that berserk clang?
So that's my notification noise. Also, it's not Berserk. That's from Guilty Gear. That's the Guilty Gear like selection noise. That's my notification on my phone. Sorry.
So why do you got your notifications on, Skylar?
Because I always
whatever. How much more we have? Because I do have plans tonight, and it's getting late.
All right. Well, damn, this sucks. If
we
only
did push it back an hour.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That was I didn't know we were doing spring cleaning. I like nobody mentioned it, so I'm sorry.
Yeah, I feel yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that happened to you, James.
Why are you sorry?
I'm sorry it happened to him.
Oh. No, it really sucks for the audience because I it's the Broly movie. I was really excited to talk about it. So
I mean, you can talk about more. It's just
there's not that much. There's not that much talk.
Get ready for next week's podcast, Broly Super Dragon Ball Super Broly movie spoiler cast part 2.
If everyone's on next week, we might as well just do the Hunter x Hunter spoiler cast or Persona, whichever one you want to do.
Hunter x Hunter.
We'll do Hunter x Hunter because you're playing through Persona 3. Hopefully, you'll have more knowledge about Persona later on. We'll hold on that. So yeah, next week, I'll throw it on the docket right now. Next week will be the Hunter x Hunter podcast, as long as all 3 of us are available.
All right. Yeah. Thank you, everybody, for checking out the Weekly DADcast. Make sure follow us on Twitter at Weekly DADcast. Hit us up on follow us on Twitch at twitch.tv/weeklydadcast. Send us your fan questions. Thank you for coughing in the middle of my in segment, Skylar. Appreciate it. Um,
That sounded real. I thought you were faking.
and send us.
Was real.
That's what she said. And then send us your fan questions at weeklydadcast@gmail.com. Thank you and have a good night.